Woo! Hello, doggy. You just gonna stare at me, or what are you doing? You're being creepy. Hello, creepy dog. Let's see if I can show you a creepy dog. See if I can. There you go. There's creepy dog. He's just staring at me from the doorway. You're weird. Smile, smile. All right, I've got to leave you. You smell like a grave. You've been digging again, haven't you? Oh, oh, you suck. All right. Okay. All right, that's enough of that music. If it's too loud, you're too old, and it's too loud. Yeah, my dog's being creepy. Does not like me dancing. My dog is not a fan of my dancing. Actually, I'm sure a lot of people aren't. Let me see if I can move our little avatars down into a better position. Does that work if I do this? Oh, look at that. Okay. So what is, someone said, what did you say? What is this on the screen? What is going on? It's a freaking avatar madness, I say. I am totally way too loud, aren't I? I'm so sorry. Let me pull myself down a little bit. I can see myself peeking here and driving everyone crazy. Yes, this is avatar madness. This is, I don't even know why I bother. I need like 4 screens to do this. Aw, thank you very much for something that happened in the background of a million freaking avatars now dancing. Forgot about the TechBandits stream today, and I was just thinking about streaming myself. I just picked up a Securo on the Steam summer sale. Oh, I don't know about Steam summer sales. I like the sound of that. Hello, first time chatter. Bojangles McDuff47. What is on the screen? This thing called screen avatars. It is also a Steam thing that you can do. It's called streaming avatars, and it just allows you to put an overlay on your stream, and so people can do things like throw bombs at each other, or all dance in unison, or just look like Rick and Morty. So, and a bunch of other things, dinosaurs, and what is the other one? Is it Parasite? Is it Parasite that I'm looking at? Is that the no? It's don't tell me. It's the one where they're half demon and half human. It's oh God, no, can't remember what it's called. I give up. What was it called? What is the name of it? What is the avatar called? The cool, black and the white hair, black outfit ninja guy is from an anime that my son will just be freaked out about the fact that I don't remember. It's called, is it not Parasite? If I tried an arabesque, my hip would completely seize up. Yeah, you and me both, Nala. The wife, says Spider239. That's very thoughtful of you. Thank you, Spider. The wife has just had 2 lens replacements in her eyes. So she did one on Tuesday, and she did one on Thursday, and she was very nervous, so I went with her to both. And I sat in the Timmy Hose, and I had a giant dark roast with triple creams, and I hopped on their Wi-Fi, and then I started up my VPN, because there's no way I'm using public Wi-Fi in Timmy Hose. And I did things like I wrote a little pitch while I was out there, and I wrote a little... of course, I finished up my email of awesomeness today at the Timmy Hose and sent that off. So there's probably a million spelling and grammar errors in that. But you know what? Who cares? Because it's fun. And she seems to be doing okay. She is very, very groggy. They gave her something. They gave her some medications, man. And so she's pretty groggy. She always starts off okay. And she says, like, oh, no, let's not take an Uber. Let's take the subway home. And I'm like, okay. And we take the subway home. By the time she gets home, she's like, gadunk, drops like a tree. A very light and attractive tree. Best choice he has made in a while. Hide the face. What? Who's hiding the face? What? The names are all over your face. Maybe not the best layout. Very distracting unless that's the point. Oh, everyone's a critic, aren't they? But mainly Cal. Maybe I'm hiding behind them. Maybe I've got like some spots or something that I'm maybe I've got some acne that I'm just trying to hide with people's avatars. Well, should I change it? I mean, I can, I guess. I can make them smaller. Or I can maybe. What if I pull them down a little bit? Does it help if I go a little lower? Is that slightly better? Is that better for you, Cal? Does that offend you less? One day, I'm going to make so much money that I'm going to hire Cal full time. That's my plan. It's just Cal and I will work together like for the rest of her life. That's my goal, my future goal for money. And we may actually, the both of us may be working for Prof. Dr. Gurney in the process. But one day, that's my plan. Because Cal, I think Cal needs to be pushed much further. She's far too creative and too funny and smart and frankly, yeah. I want to. I would like one day to hire her full time so no one else can use her genius. That's my plan. Wolf Pup, I was basically napping, but I'm here now. Oh, sorry, Wolf Pup. Did we wake you up? I am no longer eeping. I'm assuming that's sleeping as opposed to, leaking or whatever the hell else you're doing. Does Cal want that job? No, Cal doesn't want that job. That's why I want it. That's what I'm saying is, that's my point. Could you imagine? All right. It's a full-time job. It's true. Says Wolf. It says hi, Wolf. Okay. Nope. I meant eeping. Yeah. Good. Just checking. Just checking. Man, Wolf Pup, you've got me onto this horror thing like big time. We're gonna discuss this a little further because there's some neat stuff that I want to share with you, which comes at a bad time, given that we have strikes on with writers and actors right now. So I have a feeling that the writers and actors may have chosen a bad time for this because Disney today said that the head of Disney said basically, well, maybe we don't want to do like narrative form stuff anymore. Well, he didn't say narrative. He said. What he said? Basically, he didn't. He's basically saying maybe we don't need TV anymore. Maybe Disney isn't like a film and TV company. Maybe it's got other things it should be doing. I immediately called my friend and said, "Hey, we need to start a social network. We need to start it right now." I should actually talk to my friend about that soliloquio because I just feel like I would welcome a service that has writers writing really good monologues that I can pick and choose from to do or not do as I see fit. And that maybe instead of like Cameo or instead of like fringe plays and stuff, you can write your own monologue or whatever. You could basically put on your own one-person show. And I know that sounds incredibly indulgent, but we're actors. And I got to say, as a writer, I love writing monologues. Monologues are just really fun to write. So I just wonder if there's something there. Originally it first came up during the pandemic because I thought it was a great way to give people access to an audience that might not have one already. And now I just want to make money. So no, I'm sort of kidding, but I'm not entirely kidding. It just feels to me like more people are on social media than they are on movies. So let's make social media smarter. That's just what I'm thinking anyways. Ugh, Disney, shut up. You like taking our money. Yeah, exactly. Mandy 2462 just subscribed again, and I thank you very, very much for that. Good evening, David. Sorry I'm late. Never got a notification. Hope you're well this fine Thursday. I don't know why there are notifications. I don't understand any of this anymore. I feel like, you know what? I feel like here's what I do. I do my stuff, man. I go on the Discord. When I remember, I actually put it on Discord, which is what I should do, because then ViPup knows to join us. So I put it on Discord. I put it on Twitter now. I put it on Facebook, and I put it on LinkedIn now. I've started putting it on as well, because I feel like it'd be kind of fun to get some other business nerds in there and, tech nerds and things. So anyways, that's what I've been doing. Let me pull in the Discord, and we'll get some chatting. Cal's got very, very silent, very, very quiet. Him being my boss, I'd sooner sign up for life, if celibacy, and become a nun. Well, but Cal, that's what we would do. We would start a monastery, and we would, you could be a nun, and I could be like, I could be like the Pope's exorcist, like the movie I just saw. Russell Crowe looked like he's having fun. I think you'd enjoy it, frankly. I could see Cal as the grumpy nun. Did I say grumpy? Sorry. Happy birthday, Cal. What else we got? Anything else going on here? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Not sure why Discord stopped auto messaging. I'll look into it. Look at Cal. She's like, she's kicking the tires. She's working on the engine, or whatever makes these things go. Once the coins are shipped, I will start nagging you about soliloquy. Do you think it's a good idea, James? Do you like that idea? Grumpy Nun. That's it. That'll be the name of our one-person show. That'll be my one-person show, Grumpy Nun. Or None So Grumpy. How about that? That's got sort of like almost a Shakespearean ring to it. Nala, holy cow. Thank you so much for subscribing. Tier 1, 3 months in advance. 3 months in advance? Holy cow. You think I'm going to be that good? I'm at the annual conference for computer science teachers, and we're teaching each other how to make paper airplanes. That's freaking cool. That's what teachers should be doing. That's great, Elizabeth. I watched The Fabelmans the other night. Do I have to watch it, Wormhole? Do I have to watch that one? I'm not sure. I'm only watching horror right now anyways. I have 13 films I have to watch for the Fantasia Film Festival Judgment. I like to call it Judgment, but I'm a judge in a section in the, I think it's the Cheval Noir, the Black Horse portion of the films. And so I'm a judge. Oh, did I mention president judge? I don't know what that means, but it's a president judge, and all the other judges that I met on the chat the other day on the Zoom, they didn't seem that impressed by the president part, but I think I'm going to work on that. I'm going to get like some robes and stuff, I think. Really enjoyed The Pope's Exorcist. Saw the new Insidious on Sunday. Oh, did you like that? Okay, because I want to see that as well. Nala is a glutton for punishment. You must be, Nala, because if you're signing up for 3 months, that's like a purgatory. Better than the Mouton Noir judge. That's true. That's true. Isn't Mouton Rouge, Mouton Noir? That would be the pig. Is that the pig, the black pig? I told me kid, if he can sleep with his door closed for a week, he can see a horror movie. Black sheep, that's it. Mouton, black sheep. I like black pig. I might get, maybe, I think I've seen black pigs before. Maybe that pig that I get that's called Tractor will be a black pig. Black sheep. Well, that's kind of what it is. It's the Cheval Noir. Maybe that's how the French say that. Actually, you would probably know better than me, so I guess probably Mouton Noir is probably right, given that James actually speaks French too. Because, God damn it, he does everything. New Insidious is very good. Definite thumbs up. What about the 2 preceding it, Mandy? Did you like the 2 Insidiouses before that? You know? The key with watching movies, Wolfpack, horror movies, is you watch them with, and this would be for Elizabeth too, I would say. Well, actually, not for Elizabeth, because Elizabeth is saying you can't watch the movies. But is you put one headphone on. Just put one earphone in and watch the movie that way. It's just not that scary when you're not, well, of course, I also watch it in a dark room beside a sleeping wife. And she keeps going like, what are you watching? Because I keep jumping. Because it turns out I'm not just a coward on television. What do we got? Okay, so far so good. Yes, 3 and 4 were great. Really? Okay. Can't type because watching 2 streams at the same time. Nope, watch them midnight in my room, lights off. Nice, Wolf Pup. That's how it's supposed to be done. I love that trick. I will remember that for next time when I get scared at a horror movie. The best advice for a horror movie comes from a little film called About a Boy. Marvelous little film. And the kid goes to a sleepover where they're watching horror movies, and he's scared he's going to get scared. And his father figure, in the form of that wonderful actor, Hugh Grant, gives him the advice of just play a fun, silly song, and the images just aren't scary anymore because the music and the sound is. I'm doing this. I'm in the process of this factual horror show that I want to do, and I think that sound. I should just do a whole episode just on sound because sound is key in this stuff. It's like watching Star Wars, that big celebration at the end of Star Wars without the sound. You just go like, "This is stupid," and then you put sound on it. You're like, "Huh, this is a classic." Anyways, About a Boy, beautiful movie. Seen it a million times. Hugh Grant, love that guy. Even though he's had an interesting past, I gotta say, there's something so British about him. All right, let me get in the Discord and see what's going on. Make sure I'm not missing out on smart people. Let's see. I am missing out on smart people because Vibe Pup's here. How are you, Vibe? Me. Okay. Me. Wow. That is a hell of a vibe you've got going there, Pup.
Sorry, I was sleeping.
That was your sleeping? You're eeping. You're eeping.
Yes.
Eep, 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 eep. That's it. Yeah. Me. Oh my God, dude! I got an app called the Snore Lab. I think it's called Snore Lab, and what it does is it records you at night and analyzes your sleep. Right?
I just want to quickly say this. That's kind of creepy. Why is it recording you at night?
Because
it's just recording the noise, or is it recording you?
Just recording. Well, it's recording everything, but because it's right by my bed, it's picking up right by my side of the bed. It picks up my breathing patterns, and there are different levels of snoring that it can gauge. There is I should look it up. I should tell you the exact names because it was quite amusing to me. There is oh, for God's sake, whatever. Okay, sorry. I paid my accountant. And now they're like, well, we don't take PayPal. I'm like, well, then join the frickin' 2000s, folks. I was like, that's how I, if I'm going to pay accountants to do all my stupid taxes, because God knows the government wants to take a huge chunk of anything I do here.
Oh, I have a fun tech news.
Oh, yeah, go, before I start
I
complaining.
might be buying a game for VR that looks really, really fun.
A game for what?
VR.
Oh, yeah? What are you getting? What is it?
I might be getting Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
That could be cool. So that's horror games. We're going to talk about horror because I got a lot of things to say about horror today. I got to say. All right, here's the Snore Lab thing. Watch this. Let me show you this. Let me see. Where's my results?
I have a really fun topic for horror.
What do you got?
What makes scary things scary?
Yes, that's literally one of the episodes I want to do. Is like, there's a wonderful video by, is it Wheezy Waiter? Was it the Wheezy Waiter guy?
I just want to say two of my main things that scare me. When it's kind of like when it can happen in real life, or when it's like absurd, but then my brain's just like, but what if?
But what if? Yeah, no, those are the best. I mean, again, I feel like horror, in a way, it's not even what it's about, it's how it's done. Like if horror is done well, I'll believe in God. I just watched, The Exorcist, and I'm like, I got creeped out a bit. Like, it's called The Pope's Exorcist. It's silly. It's totally silly, and it's very derivative. And I mean, it's very like The Exorcist or some of those old Amityville horrors. It is very classic. The Omen, kind of all those elements are in there. But Russell Crowe is having so much freaking fun playing this exorcist from Rome. And he's speaking a little Italian, he's speaking a little Latin. He's just loving it. And as a result, I really enjoyed that movie. So 2 thumbs up from me. 2 claws up from me. Okay, let me just tell you about the Snore Labs thing, and then I'm going to go back to you. So there are 4 different classifications for the snoring on this app. There is quiet. There is light.
Can I do the sound effects?
Okay, go. Okay, so quiet.
1 second, I need to turn off noise suppression on Discord real quick.
Okay, all right.
Okay, there we go. I'm ready.
So quiet, light, loud, and epic. Jesus, God, that sounds like you killed a parrot. It's like you killed a parrot in your sleep.
I take my snores very.
It's true. You're like a method snorer. Method is a type of acting.
Captain Catherine just said, "Are these your actual snores?" Oh, never mind.
No, I will play you my snores if you'd like. But at first I have to confess something. When my wife told me I snored, I was like, okay, I snore. I'm a guy. Of course, there's a bit of snoring. I thought maybe I was like light to loud. I am freaking off the charts epic. And now I will prove it. This is so embarrassing. I don't even know why I'm doing this to myself. But anyways, all right, let me get you to, so this is, let's just see if it's,
Hello.
Oh, wait a sec. No. I see. That's me talking. That's interesting. Oh, hey, who's there?
Lord Chunky.
Lord Chunky! Hey, you changed your image from the what's his name to a CP. Yeah, you've gone Zuckless. Yeah. You're Zuckless.
Zuckless right now.
I guess you haven't joined Threads then.
I am on Threads. I've not used it though. I just joined for the sake of joining.
I haven't joined. I haven't joined because I heard something about someone was saying that they had a Facebook page. They called it a mistress. Oh, here you go. Oh, so, okay, here, let me find my snoring. Let me see. There we go. Let's just go in here. Here, you got to hear this snoring because this is good. This is good stuff. Okay. All right. So this is an app that I have, Lord Chunky, that allows you to record your snores. Why is it not letting me move? Oh, I see. I have to go like this. Okay. Listen to this. Oh, okay. Just hurry up a bit. There you go. There you go. Ready?
It sounds like a lawnmower for the
Doesn't
second
it?
that I heard it.
Oh, you wait. It just gets worse. It just gets worse.
Oh, we can't hear it because you have noise suppression on Discord. I think.
What? Is that what it... Oh, what if I do this? Is it better if it's like this? Now do you hear?
You can kind of hear it. It's kind of getting out of it, but...
It won't let me play this. It is extraordinary how loud I am is the point. I am an epic snorer. My wife... So not only is my wife... So Jane has just had lenses put into her eyes so that because her glasses, she can't have any more powerful glasses without basically them burning a hole. Oh, yeah.
Like certain like permanent contacts?
Yeah, they're like permanent contacts, but they're behind the eye. So they actually put a lens into her eye. She was terrified. For 40 years, she's been terrified of getting the surgery done. But she has to do it because they literally can't make her glasses any stronger. Like, she's so blind that she needs these things. And but get this, you could only get them if you pay for them in Canada.
I mean, yeah.
So unless you've got $7,000,
$7,000.
you are blind.
That's rough.
Isn't that insane? Like,
I
that's
think
just
some like insurance companies would pay for that. Like,
yeah, I think we got 1,000 back from my union. I think I was like, thanks.
Died a second ago. What are we talking about?
Oh, so we're talking about Jane. My wife has just had lenses put into her eye. They cut open the eyeball and they slip in a lens. And then they do one on a Tuesday, then they check her on a Wednesday, then they do another one on a Thursday. They'll check her tomorrow, and it's pretty wild. It's
like one eye sees well for a little bit.
Yeah. So right, yeah. So one eye is getting better, and the other one is going to be lousy. No, laser therapy, Elizabeth, is different. Laser therapy, it wouldn't work for her. It's not. They'd have to burn out so much of the back of the eye or whatever it is that it wouldn't work. So they've actually had to stick a hunk of plastic in there. Anyway, so she's recovering right now. So I'm supposed to be just making sure. You should make some Nick Fury jokes. I should. It's true. So tell Lord Chunky. No, wait a sec. Sorry. Vipup, you had some stuff you wanted to mention first.
No, it was just about the horror thing that we were going to talk about.
Just so you know, Lord Chunky, Vipup is thinking about buying. Is that right? Are you thinking about buying it, or you have already bought the VR?
Thinking about
the Walking Dead VR.
The game.
The game? Oh, okay.
I feel like horror would be a great place to do in VR. I mean, I would get sick, so I can't do it.
Yeah,
but
it would probably. I sold my VR headset. I couldn't really use it for more than half an hour or so.
Without getting sick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What did you have?
I had a Quest.
Yeah, that's what we've got. I mean, Baz can use it for longer than I can. I just cannot do it. I've got a little tiny bit of vertigo, and when I put those headphones on, I am like the vomit comet. I am like I will throw up everywhere. I cannot do it. It makes me so sick. You know that if you get the new Apple one, you have to go make an appointment. They have to test your eyes. They have to do a special fitting. I
mean, I guess that's nice, but then if you want someone else to use it, it just wouldn't be set up.
That's what I mean. Like, it just feels like I feel like, look, it's no big deal to Apple. Apple can shrug this off and they wouldn't even notice it. It wouldn't even be like a mosquito bite to them. But I don't know. I think it's a great idea that's ahead of its time, perhaps. But
not really, in my opinion. I feel like the only thing good about it is the graphics and the full in like spatial AR. I'm pretty sure they have that.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to pay $3,000 for something that can just be modded in type of thing.
Although I will say this.
No, none of that could be modded into anything else.
What do you mean by modded in?
Quest to do.
But you can't upgrade. You can't upgrade the Quest. You're saying?
No, not anywhere close.
What are you running right now? Vipup? What's your VR kit?
HTC Vive and
Oh, yeah.
a Vive, like the original, and I'm trying to convince parents into letting me buy a Quest 2.
The Oculus one. The Oculus is what, like $1,000, $900, something like that?
No, the Oculus is like, I don't know how much it is now. They made it more expensive for some reason.
Well, they upgraded it. They went to there was a new Oculus, and I think they've got some new processing in there or something.
Well, no, there's like the Oculus Pro, but like the Quest 2, like it launched for $350 and now it's $400.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's
Like,
because
I sold
Meta's
mine
stock
when
went
it was
down.
on. Yeah, probably.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, because I sold mine and I wanted it gone, so I sold it for $250. And then
Oh,
sold
really?
Pretty quick. But like, if you go used, you can find one for under $300 pretty easily.
I just never trust used
Canadian,
technology.
yeah.
I never trust it. You're much braver than I am on that stuff because you buy used GPUs and stuff, right?
Luck with all my used stuff, yeah.
Is there a trick to figuring out whether you're buying good used stuff or whether you're screwed?
Just ask enough questions, and then if it seems sketchy, don't buy it.
Right. And you ask questions like online.
Yeah, online.
You're not like in a coffee shop with a guy going like, so... I see.
Like,
All right.
Yeah, sometimes you will meet in a coffee shop and you'll look it over, but like...
I would
I've
meet in
never
public
actually
for
met-
sure. God, could you imagine going to someone's house?
Yeah, I'll only meet.
That's a horror movie right there.
Or
Yeah, come in. I'll show you my GPU. Yeah, I don't know.
I've been to houses a few times. It's not
Really?
terrible. I just go. I knock on their door. They bring it up to the porch, and I just
Really?
walk off with it. Yeah.
See, that creeps me out. That's because, like I say, I don't just play a coward on television. I'm actually a complete coward myself. Do you get your folks to come with you or something? Like, so they sit in the cars or something? Like,
No. I just
What?
Yeah,
Really?
I take the subway.
Really? Oh my
Like,
God.
Surprisingly, like the place I've met people the most is just like, for some reason, all the techs out in like Scarborough area. I guess like there's a lot of people that live there.
Huh.
So I'll go all the way down to Kipling and I'll just meet them at the station.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I see a lot of people around there. I guess because it's...
Because then I don't have to get like driven out to Scarborough. I'll
Yeah.
just meet at the station and it's like halfway. They only have to drive like 10 minutes or whatever.
I think that must be it. Because I've seen a lot of Kipling pickups for stuff. Because I look at stuff all the time. I just never buy it. First time chat, 50% extra. Says, different subject. Nice fix on your sump pump back in the day, geezer. Thank you very much. Yes. Well, get this. Okay. So I think the last time that we spoke with Vipup, I was asking people what their favorite horror movie was. Actually, I should ask Lord Chunky. Lord Chunky, you got a favorite horror movie? Or horror movie soon?
No. I haven't watched many.
You don't watch horror movies? None at
I
all.
haven't seen much. I've seen like 2, I think.
And did you enjoy any of them or no? I just like...
Yeah, they're all right, but it's not like, I don't know. I found them the most entertaining kind of movie.
Really? Yeah. See, it's so funny. So I've always enjoyed horror. I don't know why. I guess because I don't know. I don't know what it is about it that I love. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is now for me. Now I like horror because horror movies are different than other movies. Whereas a lot of movies have a formula to them, like you know where they're gonna go. You know in the first half an hour something's gonna change in their life, and that will put them on a different journey. And then at a certain
That's why
point,
I haven't watched a lot of movies, if I'm being honest. That's
part of the problem. Well, and so Vipup mentioned a movie the last time we spoke, and I'd never heard of it, and that's because it was on YouTube, and it was like a little homemade movie that someone had done. Animated and very simple, but really, really creepy. Like I gotta say, is it the scariest thing I've seen? No, but I thought it had a kind of an interesting sort of angle on it, Yeah, Elizabeth raises a good point. I just feel so sad for all the characters. That was the problem with me when we first had Baz. I didn't actually have Baz. Jane had Baz. I watched. When Baz was around and he was very young, I didn't like horror movies. I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I just couldn't do it. Now that he's a teenager, I am happy to watch people get killed and murdered all the time now. It has to be good, though. I don't like torture porn, as I call it. I don't like the ones that just revel in people being cut up, and I'm not a big fan of that stuff. But this film that Vipup showed me really got me thinking, and I started playing with some stuff, and I've made a crazy cool discovery. And that is, when I first started playing with Midjourney and AI images, one of the first things that I gave it to do was to help me out with a pitch for this horror factual series that I'm working on. And it was like a treasure trove. Like it was just image after image after, and I'm like, oh God, nightmares. Like it was so good at creating horror. And then I thought, wait a second, we're doing a bunch of this, text to video or video to video with a text prompt. So you take an existing clip, you give it to this, what is it called? I'll have to look up the name of it. God, what's it called? Anyways, it's this AI. You give it to this AI, it processes that video, and then you can write a prompt to change that video however you want to change it. Well, I typed in a few horror ideas based on Vipup's movie. So I had this idea. I thought, like, well, maybe I could do a little movie about a plumber going into the basement to fix my sump pump, and then the lights go out, and he has to use his camera, but his camera's video's not working. He's just to take photos with the flash to see his way through. And at the very end, something horrible happens. So the horrible thing that happens at the end, I typed it into this. I took footage of me going like this into the lens, like that kind of a thing, and I said, turn that into a sewage monster. And what I got back was, I cannot get it out of my head. It's so terrifying. Like it is absolutely repulsive and greasy and wet and fleshy and toothy, and it was just I'm literally going to take this little clip and I'm going to put it at the end of the movie as a jump scare, because I just think it's freaking brilliant for horror. So I think the new master of horror is not what is his name? The guy who does all of those all those horror movies. It's what is the guy's name? Who's the guy? Blumhouse. It's not Blumhouse. I think it's AI, because oh my God, the stuff I'm literally not going to show you because I think it's too scary. Like I really
AI videos going to get better though.
The AI video will get better for sure. This one,
because that's the one thing that's really lacking right now. It can do photos fine.
It's
but it
not
can't generate them consistently enough to make.
No, there's definitely inconsistency issues. There's definitely inconsistency issues on it. But when it comes to horror, that works. And when it comes to horror in images, like there's nothing creepier than people having teeth in the wrong place, or eyes that are too close together, or too far apart, or in the wrong place, or you know what I mean. So all of those issues that one has with AI creation is kind of solved by having it look at horror, because the horror of this stuff, I'm telling you, this monster, I gotta do the movie. It's not a movie. It'll be like literally like a little short home video, but I just want to cut it together because I think it could be kind of interesting. But it was just a picture of David. That's right, says James Gurney. What's your point? What's your point? It didn't have much to work with. You're saying it didn't have much to do to make it scary, I think, says James. No, it is.
You already got it halfway.
It was, oh, Jesus, Lord Chunky, you're not welcome here. Just so you know, you got it halfway. So what have you been working on? Anything good? Any new robotic stuff? Any new prints? Any new 3D prints? I'm sorry, I haven't picked up.
3D prints.
What do you got? What have you done?
Like partially for robot stuff. We'll get a picture of them. They're just like these things that are going to go around some motors.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So some more support stuff?
Not really. Yeah, it's more like a guard thing. Just the motors will get like sheared off.
On guard. Where we got? Let me see if I can find a way of bringing in Discord. I don't understand why I don't see Discord in here. Let me see if I can find a la Discord. Screen capture.
And these ones took quite a while. So I'll put it right in the TechBandits live chat.
Add source. Discord goodness. Add source. Where's Discord goodness? Okay.
So I think together, I printed them both at once, and it took 15 hours.
Where did you put it in? Which chat did you put it in? Oh, just the TechBandits live. TechBandits live. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some fancy looking things. Nice. That's a good print. You got a good print off that. That Prusa is kind of a workhorse, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it works really well. It's not the fastest.
It is freaking slow as all freaking hell, isn't it? Those are nice. So what are those supporting? What are those going to? What do they support?
I don't have Discord on my computer right now because I actually
some kind of a pipe or something, or some kind of. Oh, those are the motors you're saying.
They're gonna go. Yeah, they're gonna go around the motors. The motors gonna be like a circle that are gonna go in the middle.
Mm.
Here, actually, wait. I'll give you a.
And sir, remind me what you're using. What are you using for? Is anyone seeing this? I guess they're not seeing this. So first off, there's the image.
But don't show the video of the robot, ideally.
Okay, no, I won't. It's fine. I was just going to. I will turn.
You can see what the robot does, and it's pretty cool.
All right, let me just turn this off. There we go, and then I can go back to here, and then look at that.
So that's what I've been working on mostly, is that robot.
Holy mother! That sucker's moving.
The goal is to shoot the cube.
Oh, that's nice. What is that space you're in?
That's just the school atrium.
Is it? That's.
Yeah.
I was going to say the name of the school. I guess I can't do that, can I? Wow, that sucker moves.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this is so cool. You should, next time I go up to ClearPath Robotics, I should get you to come, because it's things like that racing around.
Pretty cool.
It's amazing. Yeah. Where is it? I don't see it in the Tech Bandits. Sorry, it's in the Tech. Oh no, you know what? It's in our live stream. It's so you won't actually have access to it. Although I'm going to shut down the Tech Bandits only thing.
You're going to shut down the server at some point?
I'm just going to have the Iron Ham Tech Bandits one, the big one with everyone on it, because having the separate ones is just, I'm getting confused and I'm getting old and confused. And I also just want to give Cal some more stuff to do, because I think she's bored. Greetings from Belgium. Well, greetings right back. I sold some more coins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's true. It's true, Gimpy G. Is that you there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I got I sold a couple more. It was like two more purchases. They're going. I was surprised. I didn't think I was going to actually get through the 175 of them, but I think we might get that. We'll see.
That's awesome.
That is kind of neat, isn't it?
We should rewrite this and make it like Goonies 2. Like where you found the doubloonies underneath.
Oh, the doubloonies.
Toronto. Yeah.
I should just dig a hole in my basement and then bury them in there, and then have an excavation video. But then, maybe that's where I can add my.
That much trouble.
Did you hear the horror thing I was talking about?
Oh.
Oh, dude, I've been playing with, because I have had so much success in the past with AI images and horror. Because I've done horror images for my pitches. I decided to try it with one of Vipup. Remember that little film that we watched with Vipup the other day?
Yeah.
So I tried a little. You're only allowed to do 4-second pieces of video. Otherwise, you have to pay on a monthly basis, and I just don't. I don't want to. I can't afford another damn subscription right now. So you get 4 seconds. You can get up to, I think, 15 seconds. I think if you pay like a chunk, I think it's like $79 a month or something. But right now that's too steep for me.
Holy shit!
But you get. The first attempt I made was an image of me making sort of monster faces into the camera, like doing a jump scare basically. And I cut it down to 4 seconds. I uploaded it. I did it, and and it returned a piece of video that is the stuff of nightmares. Like, it actually really disturbed me. It was really, really creepy. It's the kind of crawling, greasy, slimy, dirty horror that it really is. It was amazing. Amazingly creepy.
Late 90s Hewlett, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Or more like 2020 Hewletts. Decrepit and missing things. So Lord Chunky's been building designing and 3D printing mounts for this robot he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
That's epic.
And the old Prusa is holding up really, really well. I gotta say though, you know what I want? I really want to get one of those
Bamboo Labs ones.
Oh, the Bamboo Labs are beautiful. The Bamboo Labs are absolutely beautiful.
I think I might buy a 3D printer at this point.
Really?
I've been using it enough.
You're using it enough to warrant having one, you think, at this point?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, I'll tell myself that.
What do they go for now, the Bamboos?
I agree.
What do the Bamboos go for?
The P1P, which is like the one that's a bit more stripped down, like it doesn't have the enclosure or anything, is like 800 Canadian, which isn't too bad.
The enclosure, though, I thought was part of the point, though. Isn't that part of the curing of it and stuff, isn't it?
The enclosure is good for like some specific materials that like will warp if they're like changing temperature.
Right.
As they print.
Yeah. I've definitely had that problem down here because it gets so cold down here. I found that
Oh, yeah.
bottom layers will pop away from the top layers because they're
But
warmer.
like, so I would like to get the more expensive ones, like the X1 Carbon, but like it's a lot more.
Do you know how much more it is? Like, what is the?
I think it's like 500 more.
Is it really? I mean,
Like that.
I guess it depends how you use it. I mean, if you've also got a good 3D printer, like, could you not come up with something that you could sell? Like, could you sell? There you go, 3D print some coins. People buy coins. They seem to like coins.
True. You could,
You know?
yeah, you could like 3D print stuff and sell it, but like most people that do that, they like just buy a lot of cheap 3D printers and then get a whole bunch.
And do like an actual sort of like music, like what is it called? Like a factory of them.
Yeah, pretty much like a print farm.
Print farm. That's the word. That's
Oh.
it. Print farm. Yeah.
Lord Chunky and David.
Mm.
My nephew makes pens, you know,
Oh
like
yeah.
the ones you put on your, and one that he did the art for and everything.
Mm.
He saw it at a fair. Like somebody commissioned him to make, I think 100 of them,
Yeah.
and then he saw it at a fair completely unattached to him in any way. It was just he went up to a place that sells pens.
This is pins, and his pin was out there. Oh, that's really
yeah,
It
cool.
turns out they just released like the cheap one, but it comes with the enclosure.
Oh, I
But the
feel
thing-
like
oh nice.
the enclosure
Like
would be
the pinky with
good.
the enclosure.
I feel like the
Yeah,
enclosure would be good, but you could also buy it and then buy the enclosure later. I mean, that's like maybe that's the. Well, but here's the other thing. What about a resin printer? Because that's more. It seems to me like that's smoother and more accurate. It seems. But I guess you're
What's
building
he
more
trying
big
to
things.
make?
No, because the resin printer, it's like you can't print anything big. I'm not sure how much resin costs.
I
And
don't
you need to
know.
like cure it and clean
It,
it.
no,
and
it's a
whatever.
pain in the ass, but for minifigures and stuff like that, it's great for that.
Oh
apparently.
yeah, for minifigures it'd be great.
James says they smell really bad too. So
Yeah.
um,
Julie had lips until he started huffing this stuff.
exactly, that's where my lips went. They evaporated with all of that that resin that I was inhaling.
Resin stank.
Exactly. Jesus God.
Oh,
The
David,
resin. Yes.
Did you get either of your Pruses as a kit?
They were both kits. I built both
They're
of them.
both kits.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that's the other thing I was looking at. I wanted to maybe build my own printer,
Oh, dude.
like one of the kit ones.
I would highly advise that just because if anything goes wrong with my printer,
And you know how to fix it.
I can fix it. In fact, one of the pieces cracked. I just 3D printed another piece and rebuilt
Oh
it.
yeah, I did that on this one.
Oh, did you?
The cracked piece.
That is
yeah.
so cool.
What part was cracked?
Oh no, my AirPods are dying. Like, give me 1 second.
I'll bet Lord Chunky sure regrets buying that expensive bike now.
Ah, yeah, he's got to
I
be out in
think
the
you have it.
real world instead of just sitting at home geeking out.
He could have had a 3D printer, but no, he's like, oh look, I'm blazing trails and
But
Blah,
this
blah,
is
blah.
this is the problem with being a consumer. I find.
right.
we have to make decisions.
So yeah, well, no, is that once you bought something, there's always something else to buy, right? I mean,
Oh,
we were just
true.
saying, Lord Chunky, that you bought a really nice bike, and now it's like, oh, now I want a 3D printer, and it's like, well, you know, yeah, once you have a 3D printer, you're gonna be like, now I want a whatever. But yeah,
One thing I really want, I want my own like CNC machine, but that's a little too expensive.
I got a giant one in the like, come just use the one in the
Yeah.
garage.
Do you have like I don't know. There's a couple things I want to make, so you'd have to
Let me
teach
know.
how to use
Just
it.
let me know. We'll
right.
learn together because
Maybe we'll talk about that later because
I got the little one
it's just
working.
a few brackets, and they're quite small,
Yeah.
but they're made of steel.
Steel is
tough
hard.
part.
I've been doing. I've been etching the coins with unique numbers. So every coin that someone buys, I put a random 4-digit number on it, and then but my friends, I just send blank ones because I feel like it's not. That's just my. I don't know why that makes a difference. Maybe I should put numbers on them. I don't know. Have you got yours yet, Lance?
Not.
Have you got
I
yours
have
yet?
not. Or
You haven't?
maybe.
Because
I guess I'd have to ask sister.
some people have already got them. Like they came pretty fast, and then I got, as I say, I got a couple more orders this week, so I've got to mail them out tomorrow. But I used the little tiny Sane Smart CNC, and that will just etch the numbers on it. It's a little rough for sure,
Well,
but it's
that's coin metal, and
but
that's super.
that's
strong.
super coin metal. And also
Yeah.
I think I could probably upgrade the spindle or something. Although it's not so much the spindle.
I think it's like the stiffness of the rods
Well,
and stuff, right?
It's it's well, I broke a million bits doing it, but what I've discovered is actually what it is it's how small a movement the CNC can make, because if it can only move in like 0.1 or 0.01 increments, that can be too fast. Well, it can be too fast for the metal.
Oh, so
it
can't
it
go
pulls
slow enough.
on the right, exactly. Or maybe the spindle can't go fast enough. So while you can get away with doing some CNCing on that, I don't think you can get away with. I don't know if you could cut metal out of it. Although that said, I'd be willing to try it on the larger one.
I think they might need to do the larger one then.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
'Cause I
see.
think they're like about
might,
10 centimeters by 10 centimeters.
okay, and it might spin faster too. I don't know. And look, whatever. It's a bunch of bits. As long as we're there with a fire extinguisher when it catches fire,
Yeah.
we're totally fine. But I do want to look into more metal cutting stuff because I just love it. Working with metal, there's something really like I would love to have a CNC.
Like I tried to do the brackets myself, but things were just ever so slightly off. So I think it would be better to CNC them.
What were you with your 3D printing, or what were you doing?
No, with I used a drill press and a 3D printed guide, but it still wasn't perfect.
Oh, that's smart. So, what did you have a drill press at school or something? Or?
At school, yeah. So I used that.
I actually want to build a drill press because I don't have a drill press, and it's one of those things that it sounds so simple, like just doing a straight down drill. But if you're off even just a little bit, it'll throw off screws, it'll throw off everything. So I want to actually. I've seen some examples of wow, producer Ben has gone crazy and not only gifting 10 subs. Holy crap!
Whoa.
You've gifted a total of 15 of those things. Producer Ben, thank you very much. Whoever you may be,
Ben,
thank you.
Thank you.
Check out the written note Amanda Tapping left for McKay on Sunday, sent to you on Instagram. Let me know if you prefer an email. Okay. Thank you, Producer Ben. I think Amanda and I may be at a convention next year. It's possible. Just saying.
No way.
It's possible. Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much, Producer Ben. That's very nice of you.
Amanda Tappan seems too classy to hang out with you. I don't know. Maybe it's.
I think she just feels sorry for me. I think it's just sympathy. Yeah, it's just like sympathy. It's like oh, well, talk to him. No one else is. I think that's the kind of the approach, you know.
All the girls I knew in high school wanted to cheat off my papers, so maybe it's something like that.
No one wanted to cheat off my papers, weirdly. What about Dragon Con? I know, James. I know. I should have done Dragon Con this year because Jules going to be there and Paul's going to be there, and Dragon Con is just pretty intense, and I'm not sure that I'm ready to be in that kind of a packed. I freaked out in the elevator in the subway today because I had to take Jane to this operation, and there were so many people because there was a delay, and TTC is just a mess right now. And I was like, I don't think we should be all squished up together like this. And people are coughing. You know, so like I said, not just a coward on television. Thanks for the gift sub, Producer Ben, says James Gurney. Producer Ben, if I may make any suggestions, it is definitely befriend James R. Gurney, the fount of knowledge. Okay. And Matt M33 has followed apparently as well. Well, thank you very much. That's good of you to do that. Okay. Will I be in the new Stargate? Boy, there's a question I never get.
There is no Stargate.
There is no Stargate yet. And there won't be for a while, it seems, because now we have an actor strike as well. But this is what I was saying.
Are you strike?
Yeah.
Did you vote? Don't tell me what you voted. Don't tell me.
I did vote.
Well, don't tell me what you voted though, because
okay, yeah,
I can see stakes and flaming things thrown at your house.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly. Quite possibly. I mean, I joke with my friends that I've sided with AI. But I just I'm really, really worried that the industry has chosen the absolute worst time to do this because, you know, Disney's already come out and said like, well, maybe we don't need to do movies anymore. And that's the problem. When you've got corporations that own these things, not movie people, corporations. Like most of these people don't even live in LA. They're corporations that just look at the bottom line and they go like, wait a second, I see them TikTokers over there, and it doesn't cost those guys nothing for them to get videos that are being seen by 20 million people, 40 million people. We're making $250, $300 million movies, and they're being seen by 150 million people. No, but you know what I mean? Like, so the point being is that if they're just looking at the bottom line, film and television is the worst thing to be in, right? It's not as it doesn't have the same kind of impact on society that it used to when I got into it. And I hate to say it, but I don't think they're wrong. Like, I think we need to start making cheaper movies. And I think movies are like need to get cheaper, not more expensive. And look, that said, the waste in this industry, you know, when you read stories about how they made almost any movie on the planet, you're like, what the hell? What a waste of money. And then they're complaining about paying writers a living wage. I mean, you know, that seems ridiculous. So while I obviously sympathize and side with writers and actors on these things, there's a part of me that goes like, what if, not even that we have, but what if we've got to a point where we're beyond film and TV, where film and TV becomes like Broadway. There are some huge productions that have lots of money behind them, and everyone else just has to sort of like scrounge to find their little audiences where they can. You know what I mean? Like, think about how many things there are to do instead of watching movies. Like, Lord Chunky, you just said you don't watch a lot of movies. What do you spend your time watching? Or playing?
YouTube, mostly.
So YouTube, and you're playing video games, I'm assuming.
Not much recently.
Really? How about modding? Are you watching videos about modding and doing all that kind of stuff? So
yeah, some of those and just other random videos.
Yeah. You know what I'm watching right now? I'm watching videos on how to become a what's it called? Tiny Greens. What are they called?
Entrepreneur.
What is it called? What are they called? Tiny Greens? Something Greens? Healthy Greens? What are they called? The something Greens.
What's it do?
Microgreens. That's it. So I wasn't entirely wrong. Tiny greens. I think we should call them tiny greens. It's got a better sound to it. Sure. But basically the idea is like you farm, and you can farm from anywhere, and you can like a giant pallet of these greens. You can buy the seeds for a few pennies a go, and you grow these things for like a week maybe, and then you sell them, and you can make like $1,000 a week selling, you know, or a month selling these microgreens. Not that it's something that I want to do full time or anything, but it's
weed, isn't it? It's weed.
No, it's not. That's the thing.
Okay.
I think weed is probably too competitive, and also I've just never liked this stuff myself.
You smoke all of it yourself.
That's it. That would be the problem. I've never liked this stuff. I've never liked it. It just makes people stupid, and I'm like, we're stupid. I'm stupid enough already. I don't need to be any stupider. Baz showed me a great TikTok video about a guy who goes like, it was like a guy it's about your age, and he goes up to the bar. He's pretending he's gone up to the bar. He's a British guy or a Scottish guy, maybe, I don't know. He's like, hello, I'd like, can you get me a pint of the most horrendous poison you've got, so that I can act like an idiot, that I throw up on my nice clothes, I make an ass of myself, and I slowly poison myself to death. And I was like, wow, what a different perspective kids have on drinking than we did. Because we were like, it's cool to drink before you can, and drink too much and get sick and throw up and do stupid things. And
There's plenty of kids that still do that.
Oh, are there?
Oh, yeah.
Like, where do you see them at? Like school? Not at school. They don't drink at school. Really?
Like, it's like not at school. No.
Right.
But like
school events.
Yeah.
I know people that drink. Like, I don't go drink with them, but like I'll talk to them in school.
But so you know people who drink, and they'll go drinking like on the weekends and stuff, or at parties, or what are they?
Yeah, pretty much. Usually like on the weekend or something with their friends.
Those are your robot friends, aren't they? They're getting drunk and piloting robots around. There's nothing worse than a drunken robot. That's how the apocalypse starts. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
I've never been to a party like that.
Really?
They always had stairs or something, or nobody would like.
They're just excuses. They just didn't want to invite you. That's what that's done. Yeah, we got lots of stairs. Lots of stairs. Yeah. It'll never work for you.
Lots of stairs. It goes up one way, and then you have to go back down.
I don't know that you've missed much.
Apart.
I don't think you've missed much, honestly, Lance. I like people just. My problem is since I've stopped drinking, I've discovered something. First few drinks, people are fun, and you're sort of enjoying. You can have a conversation, and then after a few drinks, you're really. I feel like I'm on the outside. You know what I mean? And I get kind of judgy, and I'm like, I mean, I love these people, but shut up. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know what I mean?
So dumb.
Like, it's just like, yeah, that's really funny for the fourth time. You know, so maybe it just makes.
Starts.
Well, and I also know that, I mean, I also used to drink a lot. Like, I drank a lot. I got out of my head drinking too many times in the past. And I, I look back and I just go like, oh God, there's so many mistakes I've made. I'm not going to say my first marriage, but let's just say that as an example, where there was a lot of drinking involved, and I'm not sure that necessarily helped make the decisions that I made at the time. So anyway, that's it. Yes, 2 drinks is enough. Well, there's that guy, I think I've talked about this guy before, but who's trying to invent a drink called 2, which is a drink that will make you will make you feel like you've had 2 drinks. But then you can keep drinking all night and you just pee it out. It doesn't compound. So your liver doesn't give out, your heart doesn't stop, you don't throw up. You just feel like you've had 2 drinks all night. I was like, that would be perfect. Because it means like get rid of the social anxiety, you feel a little more relaxed after work or whatever, but you know that you're not going to make a freaking fool of yourself and you're not going to destroy what few brain cells you have left. So why waste money on those extra drinks though? Yeah, I agree, Nick, but I feel like now do that for meth. Thank you, Mark Lapointe. Thank you for your meth. Thank you for your educational input on this.
2 snorts.
It's the equivalent of just like of just being out of your face for I've done something similar recently. I can hardly drink anymore. Just have 1 or 2 if I go out. Yeah, I've just found it's easier for me not to have anything because once I've had a drink, everyone wants to buy you another one. Because everyone.
Oh, dude, everybody wants you to buy the little guy in the wheelchair one.
Oh,
It's so dumb.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, no thanks. I just can't. I'm small. 1 shot's gonna like do me in, and then
Yeah, tell them you won't be able to walk.
Exactly.
If I have 1 shot, I won't be able to walk.
I barely have control of my head, man.
I guess is that people trying to cover up for feeling uncomfortable or not knowing how to deal?
I don't know. They really want everybody to feel as awesome as they do.
I guess that's it. When people are drunk, I think they want to be like, I'm happy. I want you to be happy too. It's just that I just find that happiness ends up with a nasty headache the next morning and sometimes throwing up. So I don't like to do that so much anymore.
And you know how wheelchairs have a desk on them?
Yeah.
On the front? There's a lot of people. I'll have like 20 drinks on my table. And like people will come back from dancing that I don't know. Is that my drink?
Really? You just start spitting in them.
I don't know.
Start spitting in them. Can't you get see that's useless to you. What would be much better is if you could get them to put their wallets there. I'll look after that for you, and they just leave their wallets and purses. And then that's when you need the little robot arm to come in and grab some stuff, Yeah. Oh, by the way, I had a great chat with Teresa about Upgrade Required the other day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because we were struggling with what our story was, right? I said, there was discussion about what is the prototype? What is the thing that they're working on? I was like, well, we've sort of worked on something already. Like we've already got this, game face thing going. Can we not use that as a jumping off point? And something came up, and I want to run this by you because it was something that was in an early pitch years and years ago. I had this idea for this assistive circus, where the idea was it wasn't at the time, it was all real world stuff. Now I think maybe it should be like a hybrid, like online and real world conference party convention type thing that combines like cosplay and assistive tech and robotics and brain computer interfaces and makers building cool stuff and like just a showcase for people to show off their assistive tech and their assistive tech skills. You could have like game competitions. You could have like really cool speakers come out and talk about stuff, and and just get people into this community of geeky maker, kind of stuff. What's your take on something like that, Lance?
I like it, and my brain flashed to something really weird, and is
it safe for the internet?
Well, do you remember that? I don't know if you ever got a chance to see it, the movie Freak.
Oh, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that one. It's on my list.
Well, okay, so it's like the 30s. The people who remember there were traveling freak shows.
This is the 1930s. This is the 1930s,
yes.
For the kids among us who would think of the 30s as like 2030s, which is fast approaching.
So, which would be the future.
Yeah. So it's set in the past.
True. Set in. Well, it was a congruent with that time.
Yes.
And so it was like kind of a study of how they lived. I mean, it was real. I don't know how do I say this.
Was it a documentary?
Real disabled people. It wasn't a documentary because there was a murder mystery kind of thing to it, and like a romance, like the kind of in the way to manipulate. Anyways, but I think it'd be cool to do a modern day Freaks. Like, but now what are they doing? Is technology taking them out of the freakyhood, or is it actually taking them deeper? Or, I don't know. Is there a
let me have a look at that then. I gotta look.
Underground society.
Is this in the if it's 1930s? Is it in the what's it called? Free range? What's the term?
It should be.
Organic? Is it organic?
Free domain.
Free domain? Because if it is, maybe we could watch it together. I'd be curious to see.
Hey,
how
that'd be cool.
You know. Hey, Harukara, Japan fan. Hello, everyone. Well, hello to you.
Japan fan.
Are you a fan of Japan or are you in Japan? That's, I guess, the question.
They're a fan of us in Japan.
I tell you, Hurakara is a fantastic name. I wonder what is that, or is that a name, or you know, they had a full freak show cast for the film.
I think it means no worries.
Does it?
No, I don't know. Hakuna Matata means no worries.
Oh no, that's I think that's a whole other language there. If in Japan, it's very early. Oh, is it? Okay, all right. Okay, well, okay. Look, so the film is called Freaks. Is that right? Is that the one?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay, that's the one that's on my list.
Everything.
That was the one that's on my list. Well, let me throw this at you then. What about reclaiming the Freak Show?
I love it.
Like, what if we call it the Freak Show or something like that?
Okay, I was wondering how edgy you'd be willing to be. I want to go full edge.
I don't care. I'll just blame it all on you. So it's fine.
Okay, cool.
But like Lord Chunky, like
after Cripple Camp, I'm ready.
Crip Camp, yeah, that was wild, that movie.
Yeah.
But Lord Chunky, do you think there's like a robotic connection there somewhere? Like, do you think we could get like? Would you think some of the robotics teams would come and show off what they're doing or something, or would you?
Like the FRC ones, probably not.
I don't know. Like, I'm just wondering.
I don't think it's that related. A lot of it.
It's too bad it's not, because it's just about moving. It's about moving objects around. I feel like, wouldn't it be great if it had an assistive bent on it one year? Like if it was like, you know, it was about like how to, I don't know, bring someone a cup of coffee without spilling it or killing the person.
How old is Lord Chunky?
Lord Chunky's what, 40, 50, something like that?
Yeah.
Mentally.
Well, mentally he's 40 or 50. It's true. Mentally he's older than we are. But what are you? You're got to be 16 now, right?
16? Yeah. 16.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, never mind.
Or shoot.
I was going to say he could build a robot to help a disabled person strip, but now he's out.
Oh my god! Yeah, maybe wait a couple years on that one, there, Lance.
Yeah, we'll wait. Let's call it dressing.
Well, it's funny.
Dressing.
There's a whole
something like that.
But I mean,
music.
There's if you have a robot that helps you change, you should totally have it to music for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, you could and you could have a camera on it that would automatically stream to your channel, to your OnlyFans channel.
Exactly.
And then you could make money just by changing. Right?
Just by changing your clothes.
Because people would pay not to watch that. People would pay $20 a month just to never ever see that or even talk about it ever again.
Don't put those in my feet.
Yeah, this has got weird. It's a good point, Captain Catherine. Look, I love
from horror to whatever this is.
Yeah, this is the horror. This is the horror of being friends with Lance. That's what this is. So okay, well, Lance, I think we should talk about this because I think it would be a great place to show off assistive escape room stuff too, right? And it's the same sort of application where you can say like, okay, let's, all these cool techs that are out there, how are people using them in an assistive way? Like just to inspire people. And I think one of the big things that we've learned about our little tech bandits and, barnacules and all the rest of these things is that there's a community there that really wants to do good, that wants to be a part of this stuff. And I keep coming back to the fact that assistive stuff is always the last thing that people add. It's always like, now we got to figure out how to make it assistive. And it's like, why don't you just start with an assistive in the first place? Like Game Face would have saved my freaking carpal tunnel arms because I could use my face instead of my stupid arm over and over again to move the mouse around. Like I just think we should be rethinking the way we approach all of this stuff. But I love the idea of like, you know, like going fully Gimpy G on this and saying like, yeah, we're reclaiming the freak show. And it's like, you know, you're a freak or a freak ally. Get over here. Show us your technology. Show us what you're doing. Show us how you're gaming with the quad stick. Let's like, you know, let's get our quad stick friend to come and talk about how he got started in that and some stories about, you know, that kind of stuff. Like get him out there, like, you know, invite him out as a guest, put him up at a nice hotel, give him a nice de-alcoholized ginger beer that I've made. I'm working on some ginger beer right now, by the way, non-alcohol.
Yeah.
So Lord Chunky,
You're brewing it.
I'm brewing it
under the house.
I'm brewing it in the kitchen. I've made something called a ginger bug. And it's basically it's like a sourdough for ginger beer. And then I'm about to do the rest of it. And then the idea is I need to make it non-alcoholic. So I got to figure out the math on how much yeast and how much sugar and all that kind of crap. But
Dude, you're like the nerd Martha Stewart.
I feel like I'm more like the nerd. I'm more like the nerd
Snoop
Homer
Dogg?
Simpson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm like a nerd Homer Simpson who with all the best intentions just doesn't get anything done properly. But I'm determined to do the ginger beer because first off, ginger beer is ridiculously expensive. It's always too sweet. It's never gingery enough. And so, yes, I guess we'll call it the Nerd Martha Stewart. People seem to like Nerd Martha Stewart. Great. Thanks for having that catch on, Lance. Lance, what are you up to? You got anything new in the works? Any new stuff on it going?
Okay, I finally have basically everything up and going on my computer.
Oh, great.
The fire did more than we thought. Like, a lot of things I thought were okay, we just start going through. Even wires were like, I don't know if they got hot and cold or what, but because the house was empty without a roof for like a couple weeks, right?
Right.
Before people got in and
they're not designed to be outside anyways, so.
Right, and a lot of water was dumped into the house. So things like keyboards that I thought would be okay didn't work.
Well, wait a second. Is it too late now to go like, hey, insurance folks?
Oh, yeah, no, we used up all that money.
That is so frustrating. We talked about this before, but Lance's house they estimated the value of the house, the government did, for tax purposes. And at the same time, the insurance company got an estimate
for half that.
Half of the house. Half of the freaking house. Hey, Davey Andy, how are you? Wow, David Hewlett treed Murray. Boy, that's been a while. That film shows up all the time. Amazing. Guy chased up a tree. It's about a guy getting chased up a tree and then trying to turn his enemies against each other so he can get down. It's like a classic. It's from like, I can't remember who it was. Was it Aristotle who originally?
Yeah, the Fox and the Grapes or something.
It is kind of like that. I guess it's more like a fable. It was the very definition of drama is as an example. Was it Aristotle who came up with it? Basically said every plot is basically man gets chased up tree, man works out how to get down from the tree. That's it. I mean, that's like,
that's man versus nature, right?
Yeah, exactly. Man versus nature versus but it always comes up about being against themselves, doesn't it? Man always seems to be actually men in general. But anyways, okay. So you've got some more issues with the technology than you thought you had.
But we've right. That it made it so frustrating. And then other things were going on too, but we're doing better.
Right away. Now I want to know about other things now. Because that just automatically sounds more like.
Well, no, they're just other people have lives too, and
screw them.
Have to do things, and then the Gimpy G can't really actually move.
It drives me nuts. Drives me freaking nuts. That's why we need robots, like full-time freaking robots that wake up and do what they're freaking told the moment they wake up.
And you don't even have to say thank you.
That's true. Actually, dude, that's an interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say thank you?
I say please and thank you every freaking time.
To a robot.
No. I was thinking about Lance because Lance doesn't have an option. It's not like
time.
Yeah.
No, because there's also I've thought of all this stuff. People have to do stuff for me, but actually they don't even have to, right? But they do. And so, but they sure don't have to like it. But it sure hurts your feelings if they are like, okay, that kind of thing, you know?
Right. They just feel like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's just so weird. It's
Hmm.
just a weird life, dude. It's not, whoever says, no, I'm just highly capable, they need to eat all the poop in your yard right now because they're full of crap. It's hard.
It turns out there is a lot of poop in my backyard, by the way.
I guessed.
Yeah,
And
my
I
dog.
figured
My dog has
Princess
had.
Peach will-
The dog has had some issues, shall we say, and has taken to. It seems that it's not just my lair down here; it's her toilet. So I found a few.
Nice.
Had a few treats waiting for me. Let me tell you. Lance, Mr. Epic snoring. Yeah, it's true. I'll have to get that. I want to get the. Maybe I should take my snoring. I've got this new snoring app that will. It's basically it records you while you're sleeping and then gives you like a histogram of how epic your snoring is, and it turns out mine is like
Really?
Yeah, the
Oh,
epic
yeah.
snoring.
mine is over
Oh,
epic. Like I am maxing out on the snoring all the time. So
Is that on
Max out
iOS?
snoring.
it's an iOS. Yep, iOS. Yeah, we've
Because
got to get
I-
freaking iOS better with the freaking assistive stuff.
Dude, I was going to ask you if we could put us in front of that Apple lady again. I could tell her. I really want to tell her. Okay, your stuff is probably technologically wonderful and implemented horribly. Look what I did with Game Face. These are all my ideas. Put me in charge of a small group at Apple of
Yeah.
technicians, and we will make this the premier
They have
assistive
that.
tech on the planet.
This is what's
No,
so
they
frustrating. Is
don't.
they have a
They're
group of
stupid.
people. They have a group of people who are
Not
literally.
gimpy people.
No, they
not
are
smart
gimpy.
gimpy people.
Well, they're not smart gimpy people, maybe, but they seem pretty cool when I talk to them. But you know, but you're right. I think it's
Joe's cool, but, yeah.
you know what it is? It's because it's an afterthought. It's not built in, right?
Well, she's got that's her whole job.
Yeah.
I'm sure she does pretty well.
I would
So
definitely.
she
I can.
gave
I
us money.
I would happily put you in touch with her again. Absolutely. And I can. You know.
You don't want to do it? You're
Look-
smart.
What do you mean?
I like when you pop in. I'm just thinking if you and
No,
I
no,
were in charge of it.
Oh
it'd be
God.
cool.
Oh dude, you know it in a
Apple.
sec. Yeah, I gotta get a job, buddy. It doesn't look like they're talking about no filming until December at the earliest.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Did you know we're in Wired magazine too?
I saw. I said I couldn't resist it though. Like I
Oh,
made
yeah.
I made a joke about them not pointing out that it's from the Stargate connection. I was like, come on, why is nobody going with the sci-fi connection? Like, how cool is it that a guy who's a Stargate nerd did an AI thing for scripts, like an AI Stargate script, and then.
Right.
But I'm wondering if you know what? I'm wondering also if maybe Google doesn't want to publicize that. Because think about it. We got strikes for writers, strikes for, they probably don't want to bring that hornet's nest into play. I hadn't thought of that
That's why I
before.
don't understand why Teresa just can't do that.
What?
You and I meeting online just because I was reaching out and trying, and tech enabled me to do that at least.
Mm.
And then through your connections from being a star.
Well-
Yeah, it's just all weird connections. And we don't believe in woo-woo foo-foo. So
No,
it's
but
just
we
all
believe in science
due
fiction.
to technology.
I
Yes.
mean, this is the thing is, you've got terrible taste in sci-fi, but
Whatever.
but we have a connection about the love of the technology, and maybe it's a technology thing.
Yeah, that's
Lord
what I'm
Chunky, do you
saying,
watch
yeah.
any sci-fi? You're not a sci-fi guy, are you?
Not a huge amount. Not really. I
Like,
think I watched some Star Trek a while ago.
oh yeah.
Well, which one?
Which one was it? Next Generation? I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah, TNG. That makes sense. Yeah. Those are like the old ones. Those are like back when I was in my 20s, but 30s, 30s maybe. I don't know.
No, we were in our 20s.
Were we?
We graduated in 86 is when you graduated, right?
Yeah, graduated.
Whatever.
So about that. Hey, so wait a second. Then how did you get into robotics? Like, what was the impetus to get into robotics then?
Good job. Credits?
No, you don't get any credits for
High
it.
school credits?
You don't?
No?
You're doing it
You
for the
don't?
pure love of the.
Wow. Love of the sport. That never happens anymore.
He's got a
it's
secret
fun.
passion to throw things across the room. So
Maybe he's got a secret plan for world
Robotics.
domination.
Well, you know he has. He had Zuckerberg
Yeah,
as
the
his.
robot does shoot things, which is pretty
That's what I'm
fun.
saying. It just shoots projectiles at
Like, that's
you know.
the main part that I worked on was the shooty part.
Yeah, that's what I would have gone for too. I think that's probably what Vipup would have gone for too. The shooty part. If you could have said
That
like,
part was hard to make.
was it?
We
Is
need
that
a
why you
CNC
like doing it?
machine. I mean, yeah, it was good.
Okay, dude, we got to get the CNC thing sorted out. Let's get that sorted out for sure. I'm on
the
that.
school has one too.
Yeah.
It's
Screw
just
the
not even
school.
set up.
Screw the school. You got a garage right here. We got to, and we can.
Yeah.
We're allowed to burn it down, and no one cares. So,
Ooh, I have a question for Lord Chunky too.
we could film
As
it
the
too.
man amongst us, the worldly man amongst us, who wins in a fight, Elon Musk or Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg.
Oh, Zuckerberg in a second. What are you
Okay.
talking
Elon
about?
Musk would like pass out before even getting hit.
He'd be like out of breath just getting into the ring. That Zuckerberg guy's been training with the Israeli fighting force or whatever they're called. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's eating like raw goat and shit like that.
Has he?
Well, yeah, he keeps saying things
All
like,
those celebrities eat
"I'm
raw
a
goat.
billionaire." Well, he's saying like he
Is it
doesn't want
Mossad?
to lose touch with his humanity and
Oh,
all
shut
these
up.
other.
What?
It's like, dude, you've never been. When were you
Only
human?
rich people say
You
that.
prove it first that you were ever human.
Only incredibly rich people want to get in touch with their humanity. The rest of us just want to eat. That's. I wonder if it is Mossad. I don't know if it is Mossad that he's training with, or he's taking whatever. That maybe it's that Mag Krev thing or whatever it is, or whatever. Anyways,
It's some sort of martial art.
Muay Thai.
I don't
No.
like either
No,
of
it's not
them.
Muay Thai. It's like some.
No.
something
I
Oh,
br-
Krav
exotic,
Maga.
I don't know.
I brought up Elon Musk the other day. Oh, Lance, we got to talk about this freaking thing. There's a
Yeah.
speaking about robotics and stuff. There's a video that I put in the email of awesomeness this week, which is my friend Connor. I can't remember his second name. What is it? Connor? Nope, I didn't write it.
Clouds
I
of the
didn't write it
Slam
down.
Cloud.
Connor from OpenBCI.
Close.
And
I was
this-
so close.
This guy. Christian Berlin. That's it. So Christian
Bale?
is the.
That guy's an asshole.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? No, he's cool. So Christian
Okay.
is a co-founder of OpenBCI, which is an open source brain computer interface company.
Oh, I think I saw something.
Did you see the TED Talk? So the-
The German guy. I love the
yes.
German guy.
Don't you? I feel like he should be at the freak show with us.
Dude, guaranteed.
Yeah, fly
He
the
has
drone
to.
around. I know Connor, so I could probably invite OpenBCI to this thing.
Oh my god.
I
Wait,
think
you
this
knew
should
the
be
guy
our mission.
giving The talk.
Yes. That's
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
guy. That is the guy who
He's
first
right.
said to me that science fiction is the first stage of engineering, the dreaming phase. He said that to me, and I'm like, oh my God, this kid's like, he was like maybe late 20s when I met him. And I'm like, I am never going to be as smart as
Can I
this
tell
kid.
you?
You know?
He is a little bit salesman. Okay.
I
Don't-
think-
Don't be mad.
I
Remember,
think
I don't know him. If you don't.
He's
have to-
not in person. Like, I think he must have been nervous. You got to be nervous when there's 22 million people watching your freaking TED Talk.
That not, well, because when the German guy, when it started going a different way,
Mm.
he kind of played it off like the German guy was the little scamp in the wheelchair is buzzing
Right,
us with the
right.
drone.
Well,
But
that's
it was
what.
just going the wrong way.
But that's what we all know. Like, we all know to just blame it on Gimpy
Oh, that
G.
scamp in the wheelchair.
Right on the scamp in the wheelchair.
It's
So this
what Hitler did.
this fit. Jesus God. Oh my God. We got stripping and Nazis. That's great. That's what we want. That's what we want. You really are perfect for the freak show. It's great. This is going to be amazing.
Combination.
Be good.
It's what was the point? Oh, right. Just so you guys know, Vipup and Lord Chunky. This is a. Were you ever around when I did the OpenBCI, the brain computer interface thing? I've got like a thing you
I
can.
don't think so.
It's
Oh,
a
you guys
thing.
need to watch that video. It's really cool.
It is really good. Where is it?
Can we watch that on stream sometime?
Yeah. I mean, I could bring it up now. I mean, couldn't I? Isn't that like
Let's
we could?
do so.
Oh, it's YouTube though, and it's TED Talk, but YouTube is. Wait a sec, but TED Talk, I don't think they care, do they? I feel like they want people to share it, don't they?
I don't think so. I don't think it's any kind of.
Yeah,
They're
well,
not
let's-
going to strike you for showing
Well,
it to
let me,
people.
you know,
They want people to see it.
look. I'll just say that you were threatening to strip if we didn't show it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I show this, will I show it on the stream? Will I? Will I ever? Let's have a look here. All right. Let's do a watch along, shall we?
We shall.
Is that what we call it? A watch along? Is it not really?
Something like that.
What did we say? Oh, for God's sake! This is the last time that James Gurney
Watch
had to
party?
come. James Gurney had to come in to help me on this one. What's the code to get rid of the sidebar thing here? Or wait a second, if I go full screen with it, what does it screw it up? If I do
no,
this?
you can hold.
I just
What was
came
it?
back. What are we doing now?
Now Vipup's back in the scene and wants to know what's going on.
I was watching my dogs.
I'm kidding. No, we're gonna watch this guy that I know has done a TED Talk, and it's freaking awesome. So we're gonna watch that. Shift Alt, that's it. Thank you. Shift Alt, so I can do this.
And then you can like cut it, right?
And then I can go boom like that, and I go booyah. I go booyah, booyah. I go, and then I start it. Now, can you guys hear what's going on if I do this?
I can hear you.
Ooh, it's loud. Is that good?
I became obsessed
You can hear
with the
it?
relationship
I can't hear it.
between
I
the
can hear
brain and the mind after suffering a series
That's
of
okay.
concussions.
I'm sorry, it's
playing
loud.
football
So he's talking
and
about having
playing
had.
college.
He's talking about having concussions.
I felt my mind change for years
Yeah.
after.
I was a total jock in school.
I was studying
Yeah.
computers at the time,
and then I
Yeah.
got
and it felt
Oh.
as though I had damaged my
Yeah.
hardware
400
and
points
that my
higher.
software was running differently.
He's
I like-
actually American, but
Over
I
the
like
following
the German
years,
Austrian thing.
A close
I
friend
liked that
suffered a
he,
serious neck injury,
that
and multiple friends and family members
talked about the
struggling
hardware and
with
the software.
crippling mental health issues.
Right.
All around me, people that I
Okay,
loved
yeah, I
dearly
remember
were
that.
being afflicted
I'm sorry,
with
I
ailments
mostly
of the
remember-
nervous system or the
What
mind.
is
It
the
is
little
playing
guys?
now.
I was grappling with
Yeah,
all
that's
this
really
while
weird.
pursuing an MFA in design and
Hans.
technology at Parsons, when a friend and fellow
They can't
student
hear- you
showed
can't
me
hear
an
it, can
open
you,
source
Vipa?
tutorial on how to build a
I'm
low-cost
opening up right now. The reason why I
single-channel
made that
EEG
noise
system.
is because
Oh,
I
can
was
I-
moving.
After a
I
couple
was moving my
long
head while I
nights of
had
hacking and
Wait, I know
tinkering,
what
my
to do.
headphones.
I saw my
I can
brainwaves
shut off-
dancing
I can
across the
listen to the
screen for the
stream
very
and not
first
you.
time,
Or whatever.
and that moment changed my life.
All I can hear is
In that moment,
Lance.
I felt as though I had the possibility to help myself and the people I loved. And I also realized
This
that I
guy's
couldn't do it
amazing.
alone. I needed help.
Yeah.
So in 2013 in Brooklyn, with some like-minded friends, I started OpenBCI, an
Yeah.
open source neurotechnology company.
And I kickstarted. I paid for that
Our
Kickstarter.
goal was to build an inward
Yeah.
pointing telescope
Yep.
and to share the blueprints with the world
Yeah.
so that anybody with a computer could
Except
begin
it's
peering
expensive.
into their own
The
brain.
tech is still expensive.
At first, we were an EEG only company. We sold brain sensors to measure brain activity.
Yeah.
I thought that's what people wanted.
That's kind of what I had.
But over time, we
that
discovered
your
people
brain?
doing very strange things with our
No,
technology.
mine would be less active.
Some people were connecting the
Much
equipment to
smaller.
the stomach
Much
to
smaller.
measure
Tiny.
neurons in the
Tiny
gut
brain.
and study that brain connection and the microbiome. Others were using the tools
There it is.
to build new muscle sensors and controllers for
OpenBCI.
prosthetics and robotics. And some were designing new devices and peripheral add-ons that could be connected to the platform to measure new types of data that I had never heard of before.
There you go.
See,
That's
that,
What
that
we
part's
learned
getting
from
you
all of
with
this
the
is
muscle
that the
sensors.
brain by itself is actually quite
Is,
boring.
is he doing brain
Turns
electric
out brain data
connection,
alone
or is he
lacks
doing
context.
muscle sensor? Ooh,
And
that's
what we
cool.
ultimately care
He's
about
doing-
is
That's
not
like
the
Doc
brain.
Brown.
but
He's
the
doing
mind.
brain and some
Not
muscle
just
stuff. I
human
think it's a
cognition.
combination.
When we have things
Okay.
like EMG sensors to measure muscle activity,
That's it,
or
EMG,
ECG
yeah.
sensors to measure heart activity,
Yeah.
eye trackers, and even
All of this stuff
environmental
has come to the
sensors measure
fore
the world around us.
since I got that
All of
thing.
this makes the brain data much more useful.
Yeah.
But the organs around our body, our sensory receptors, are actually much easier to collect data from
Like,
than the brain.
just the other day,
Also
my sister
arguably much
noticed
more
I was
important
tapping
for
my
determining
toe.
the things that we actually care about.
Oh, were you?
Emotions,
Music, you know?
intentions,
Yeah,
and the
so
mind
like
overall.
I can
Additionally,
barely move.
we realized
I'm
that
wondering if
people
you could
weren't
pick
just
that up and make it
interested
into a
Yes.
in reading
Yeah, you
from the
can.
brain and the
Absolutely,
body.
you can.
They were also interested in modulating
Milo
the
Electric,
mind
we'll talk about
through
it.
various types of sensory stimulation, things like light, sound, haptics, and electricity. It's one
Yeah.
thing to record the mind; it's another to modulate it.
Yeah.
The idea of a combined system that can both read from and write to the brain or body,
Which
is
Neuralink
referred to as
apparently
a
can do.
closed loop system or bidirectional.
It has a
human
closed
interface.
I
loop.
don't know.
Bidirectional
This
human
concept is
interface.
truly profound, and it will define the next major revolution in computing technology.
I think so.
When you have products that not just are designed for the average user,
I can't
but
wait till
are
the
designed to
wheelchair
actually
Hans
adapt
Gruber
to
comes
their
out.
Yeah,
needs,
wait till he shows
that's
up.
something truly special. When we know what the data of an emotion or a feeling looks like, and we know how to make that data go up or down, then using AI,
Wait a
we
sec,
can
so you
build
could-
constructive or destructive interference patterns to either amplify or suppress those emotions
Or
feelings.
control
In the
emotions.
very
That's
near
kind
future, we will have
of, that's a little
computers
nerve-wracking.
that we are resonantly and subconsciously connected to,
Residently.
enabling empathetic computing for the
Yeah.
very first time. In 2018,
There you go. He's
we
making
put these learnings to work.
There you go.
And began development of a new tool for
Oh yeah,
cognitive
I don't have the
exploration,
fancy one. That was too
named
expensive. I
after
couldn't
my
afford
friend
that one.
Gall, who passed from ALS.
Gall, who I spoke to. I spoke to Gall.
Gallia.
I spoke to
It's a
Gall.
multimodal
No way.
biosensing
Yep.
headset,
Well, we
and it is
emailed
absolutely
just
packed
before he
with sensors.
died.
It can measure the user's heart, skin,
Smart guy.
muscles, eyes, and brain, and it combines that capability with head-mounted displays
Was he
or
disabled
augmented
as
and
well?
virtual reality
Yeah,
headsets.
yeah. It was.
Additionally, we're exploring the integration
Was
of
it Parkinson's?
non-invasive
I can't remember if it was
electroneural
Parkinson's
stimulation
or-
as a feature.
What is the one that?
Gallia software suite can turn the raw sensor data into meaningful metrics.
Let me find
With
out.
some
I'll
of the
find out.
sensors, we're able to provide new forms of real-time interactivity and control. And with all of the sensors, we're able to make quantifiable inferences about high-level states of mind, things like stress, fatigue, cognitive workload, and focus. In 2019, a legendary neurohacker by the name of
fantastic.
Christian Byerlane
Wait,
reached
it
out
stopped.
to me.
Now we're
Oh
watching
shoot!
He was
you.
actually
Damn
one
it!
of our
Sorry,
very
you're watching me
first
looking him up.
backers
Sorry,
when
there
we
you go.
got started
Yeah.
early on.
Yeah,
Christian was
he's
very
got a
smart,
tattoo. You don't have a
intelligent,
tattoo.
Happy-go-lucky, and
I don't. I
easygoing
tried
guy.
to get a.
And so I worked up the courage to ask him, hey, Christian,
wait,
can
I'll
we
wait.
connect you to our sensors? At which point he said, I thought you would never ask.
F yeah is what Lance would have said.
So after 20 minutes,
F
we
yeah.
had him, rigged up to a bunch of electrodes, and we provided him with
Wait,
4 new
what was
inputs
his
to the
name?
computer.
So 4 new
Little digital
inputs.
buttons that he could
His
control
name
voluntarily.
is. I can't change. If I change
This
the screen, you'll get mad at me
essentially doubled
again.
His number of inputs
Oh,
to the
never mind.
computer.
Never mind.
But
Years later, after many setbacks due to COVID, we
So
flew to
he's
Germany
using-
to work with Christian. In
he's
person
using
to implement
muscle
the first
sensors.
prototype of what we're going to be demoing here today.
Right?
Christian then
Yeah.
spent months training with that prototype and sending his data
Christian.
across the Atlantic to us
So
in Brooklyn.
so Christian's
from
just got
Germany,
things taped to
and
his
flying a
face.
virtual drone
And
in our offices.
so why can't we
First
just
thing we
interface that
did
with
was
GameFace?
scour Christian's body for residual motor function.
See, I would think it
We
would
then
be
connected
easier.
electrodes
I
to
know
the 4
if
muscles
he has
that he had the most
muscular
voluntary
dystrophy, which
control
I would
over.
bet
And then we turned
billion
those
dollars he
muscles
does.
into digital buttons. We
he
then
can use
applied some
GameFace
smart filtering and
plus
signal
auxiliary
processing to
muscles
adapt those
that are
buttons
still
into something more like a
firing
slider
Yeah.
or a digital potentiometer.
Like your toe.
and he could
After that,
exactly.
we
Yeah.
turned those 4 sliders
Well,
and
and
mapped
any-
them to a new virtual
Any
joystick.
signal can be amplified.
Christian
So
then
it doesn't
combined
matter
the
how
new
small it
joystick
is,
with
as
the
long as it's
joystick that he uses with
consistently
his
something
lip to
you can
control his
do,
wheelchair.
then we can use it,
And with
right?
the 2 joysticks combined,
I gotta get
Right.
over there, man.
Christian
I gotta get over there with a
finally
bunch of
had control
freaking
over all the
sticky
manual
tape.
controls of a drone.
Where
I'm going to
is this?
stop talking about it, and we're going to show you.
I don't know. He's in Brooklyn.
Christian,
You gotta go.
I'd love to. I'd love to. There he is. I don't. Why does he have the face
this
thing
point,
on? Oh, because I
I'm
guess he
gonna
can
ask
see what the.
everybody to turn off
Christian.
your Bluetooth and put your phones in airplane mode.
Well, Captain
so that
Catherine, you have
don't
to
get
check
hit
him out
in
for
the
us.
face with a drone.
I'll bet money this guy's got an
How you feeling,
OnlyFans.
Christian?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
Let's
Look,
do
look how
it.
his leg is.
This is
He's
a
got his
heads-up
leg up
display
all
that's
like
showing all of
Wabe.
Christian's biometric data as
Has he
well
got
as
his leg up
information about the drone.
with sensors on it? I
On
didn't
the
see.
left here, we can
No,
see
no, no, it's just-
Christian's muscle data.
you get contractures.
Christian is
and
now
you
going
kinda
to
just go
attempt
with
to fly
whatever
the
they
drone.
do.
Oh, I
His
see.
happens to be
How you feeling,
with
Christian?
his
Feeling
foot
good?
up on
Yes.
his knee.
Yeah.
All right, rock and roll. Let's take this
See,
up
Connor
another
is so
round.
much nicer to him than I would be
Whenever
to
you're
you
ready.
in this situation.
I
We'd just be
know.
razzing each other the whole time. You would have attacked me with the drone
Totally
by now.
toasting each other.
You would have attacked me with a drone by now.
And that would have been awesome, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actor from the '80s,
All right,
maimed
pick
by drone.
I fucked
Now,
out by a disabled
Let's do
man.
something we probably shouldn't do and fly it over the audience.
He's flying it over the audience. But is he doing that? He's not doing that with his brain. He's doing that with muscle. Muscle. Yeah. But his system is reading those muscle signals and turning them into something that can be used in a drone, which is cool.
Correct. Just like an up, down, left, right.
Yeah. Which is all you need anyways. If you had
Right.
if you had a toe and 2 fingers, that's like you got a bunch of different inputs right there
All
already,
right,
right?
actually, let's do this. I'm going to ask for
I
people to
would
call
wonder
out some
how-
commands in the audience.
Granular,
about
you
you?
can like pick things up. Because I can
Straightforward.
like think of flexing my pec,
Straightforward.
Right.
but I just can't make any muscle contract
Right.
because it's
All right,
not
how about
there.
you?
It's
Well,
just
because
not
you don't
there.
have the kind of Putin pecs that I've got. That's why.
Not
Correct.
now. Oh, he's doing what he wants right
They
now.
wouldn't
Oh,
need
he's
a-
doing what he
like a
wants right now.
sense-
That's the part where you're talking about where he said like he said, "Oh, my
Yeah.
technology's screwed up. Let's blame the guy in the wheelchair." Yeah.
Let's blame
All right,
Christian.
let's bring
Yeah.
it back. And what I'm going to do right
He's
now
so ornery.
is take control
Yeah, it goes,
of
yeah,
the controller so
they
that
are
you guys
scams,
know.
Okay.
He
that
says
there
he's
isn't
taking
someone
control so that we know that
backstage
there's no
flying
one
the drone.
backstage flying the drone. He's really saying like,
All right,
"I don't
can you
trust
write
this guy. He's gonna maim one of the millionaires in the audience, and we're in trouble."
Unplug. Forward.
There you go. All right. How funny would it be if like Connor crashed it now?
And we're gonna land this guy.
Yeah, oh, that'd be excellent.
That'd be amazing if like if he doesn't know how to use the damn drone.
Now, does the nice looking lady?
I think
that
I'm better
helped
than you.
Christian come out?
Yeah.
Is that a
Maybe.
permanent thing or?
I don't
just
know.
for TED Talk?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Now I'm gonna unplug it so it doesn't turn on.
I want to get.
Well, you
rid
guys
of
get the sense of
that.
it.
It's like a thing I got going on.
Well, there you go. Like,
Christian has repurposed dormant muscles from around his body for extended and augmented interactivity.
you haven't seen this before?
We have turned those
Yeah.
muscles into a generic
I
controller
did,
that
yeah.
in this case we've mapped into a drone, but what's really cool is that
I still
joystick
love
can
it.
be applied to anything.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really cool is that even individuals who are not living with
I'm a
motor
very
disabilities, there
enthusiastic person.
exist
Yeah, yeah.
dozens of dormant muscles around the body that we can tap into for augmented and expanded
I just like
control and
Christian.
interactivity.
Has Christian spoken yet?
And
I'll
lastly,
be quiet.
all the code
He
related
said
to that virtual
he said he was a
joystick,
better
we're gonna open
pilot
source
than Connor.
so that you can implement it and improve upon it.
Yeah,
There's
except
three
you need the
things that have stood
technology,
out
which
to
is
me
expensive,
from
I
working on
think.
this project and many others over the years.
Well, I
One,
wonder. Like, is it
We
still?
cannot conflate the brain with
I
the
want
mind.
to talk to this man.
It's
In
not
order
crazy.
to
I'll try to get you in
understand
touch.
emotions
I'll see if we can have a
and
chat.
tensions in
It'd
the
be nice
mind
to chat with him.
overall, We have to
God, I
measure
love you,
data
dude.
from all over
I
the
haven't-
You
body,
spent your
not
life
just the brain.
making the best connections.
I know.
Open source, technology access, and
He wasn't even a
literacy
Stargate
is
guy.
one way that we can combat the potential ethical
I just
challenges we
emailed
face
him or
in
something, and
introducing
I think I
novel
tweeted him
society.
back in the good old days
That's
when
not
Twitter
enough.
did things.
We have to do much, much more than that.
Oh,
It's
we'll call it-
very
oh,
important, imperative that
we'll
we
make a
set up
life story out of
guardrails
David
and
and call
design
it
the future
the
that we
smart
want
ass
to live in.
menagerie. Instead of the glass
Three.
menagerie.
That's it. The smartass manager. I like it.
It's the courage and resilience of trailblazers like Christian
Guess what,
who
Gurney?
don't get bogged down
You're
by
one
what
of
they
the smart
can't
asses.
do, but instead strive to prove that the impossible.
How cool
is
does he
in
look
fact
with all that
possible.
gear on? He looks like something out of Mad Max, man. He's like, I would not mess with him.
Like Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
And since none of this
There you go.
would be
Christian's gonna
possible
talk
without
now.
you, Christian, the stage is yours.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello,
I'm
Christian.
excited to be here today.
Hello.
I was born with a genetic condition that affects my mobility and requires me to have assistance. Despite my disability, I am a very happy and fulfilled person. What truly holds me back are not my physical limitations. It's rather the barriers in the environment. I'm a tech nerd and political activist.
He's a tech
I
nerd.
believe
Matt,
that
you look
technology can empower disabled
What were you
people.
gonna say?
It can help create a better, more inclusive
He's got
and
badass
accessible
tattoos
world
too.
for
like you said.
everyone. This demonstration is a perfect example. We saw what's possible when cutting-edge
I got a
technology
girl. Well,
is
never mind. Tell me when
combined
he
with
stops
human
speaking.
curiosity and creativity. So let's build tools that empower people, applications that break down barriers, systems that unlock a world of possibilities. I think that's an idea worth spreading. Thank you.
Man, that was awesome.
It was good. You know, I also really like the way he tied it back to the whole theme of the show,
Yeah.
which is
And,
like ideas worth sharing or whatever. All right, there you go. So that's this guy. He's figured out how to
Right now,
What?
some nation
Nope.
states
Nope.
and individual
Nope.
actors are
I do not want to know how quantum computers break the internet. Actually, I kind of do, but not right now.
No.
So just think that what we as a people could do if we just stop for 5 minutes and talked instead of hiding results for profit, we could be amazing. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like, wow, How to Cut a Japan fan, thank you very much, is now subscribed. Holy cow.
What a great
We
person.
got to come up with some better. We got to come up with some better content fast. No, that is exciting to me because I feel like, you know, even just doing that demonstration again, at a show, or you know, tying it to something different, tying it to a you know, a little camera drone that flies that drives around the conference taking videos or handing out flyers, or you know what I mean. Like I feel like there's a lot of interesting connections that we could make there. And also just talking, you just got to talk to Connor. Connor is just He's just one of those people who just has a very sort of engineering approach to life, and it's just he's just excited about it all. At the same time, he's also much more grown up than we are. Like he just feels like he's much better at no, but in a good way. Like he's obviously he's having fun, but like for example, there was an app not an app, but like a program that was written.
I'll be back in 1 second.
All right, dude. Yeah, thanks for coming. This original headset, which was the Kickstarter, this one you could interface it with one of those like flying fish drones. You know those like giant sharks that can swim around, or a fish that would swim around, and sort of pilot it. You know what I mean? Like you get the sense of it. You know,
like a Zeppelin kind of thing.
Yeah, like a Zeppelin, but it's like shaped like a giant. You know, it's shaped like like a Finding Nemo fish or something.
You had one of those?
I didn't. No, I wanted one of those. Believe me, I've been trying to interface stuff with like I want the wheelchair that we have in the garage to interface with that. Right?
Dude, yes.
You know what I mean? Like yeah.
We need to make your garage into something called like the Wonderarium or the Tinkery or the whatever, something cool
Tinkery.
like that.
It's the Tinkery. Or what about the awesome garage of awesome? My family is always laughing at me about the naming of stuff. Actually, it's a Stargate thing too, isn't it? Where I suck at naming things. Yeah, I do. I want that's why, we're talking to Lord Chucky about the CNC. I like, that's what the CNC is. Like, I want him to be able to come in. I want people to be able to come in, and they need to do something with the CNC. Then great, just book some time. We'll set up a little website where people can book time and come in, and just only not because I care about the being there, but just because I just don't want people to show up at the same time and be fighting over the CNC. There's nothing worse than nerds fighting over CNC.
You know what? I do want that. That's exactly
that could be too. That's like once a week. Once a week.
CNC.
Yeah. Once a week, we basically on purpose a double book the CNC machine and see who the nerds fight to the death for it. Yeah. So I mean, that was always sort of the dream. Then I would say if we're going to do something like the Freak Show, then you and I should have something to do. Like, I don't know whether it's a talk or whether we're just hosts or whatever we want to do. Maybe it's just enough to be hosts. It's probably enough to.
Offense, but we're freaks.
I mean, well, we are. That's what I'm saying.
We are not normal, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's. Weirdly, I always thought I was pretty normal, but apparently I'm not. But the idea of doing something like that, it also allows Teresa to have something to document if she wants to pursue that. And also, I think it's kind of like I was saying to her in the NFB, the National Film Board, who's sort of interested in pursuing this. I was saying, like, I think, like, it's the idea of like a convention is very familiar to people. It's very familiar to sci-fi nerds. It's very familiar to makers. It's very familiar to 3D printers and CNC people and instructable people. And, it's also very familiar to cosplayers and movie fans and TV fans and stuff. So I feel like it's a kind of forum. It's just not hard to sell to people, except that we're selling it as, I also love the idea of it. If you call it an accessible tech show, no one other than people who need it are going to show up. And the whole point of this, I feel, is that we want everybody involved in this because it's just freaking fun. Right. It's cool. You know what I mean? And like, who knows? Maybe you meet a friend who's just got a different perspective on the world than you because they're blind or they can't hear or they don't get invited. Yeah. They don't get invited to parties because they're like Lance. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. National Honor Society did that to me.
What? They didn't invite you either?
No, I totally got invited to the National Honor Society.
Yeah.
It was upstairs. I didn't get to the dinner. I didn't get.
Wait a sec. They invited you, but they couldn't get you upstairs?
Correct. And I'm like, it's okay, because that was my junior year.
It's not okay. Yeah.
Well, dude, whatever. I'm 16 or wwhatever. And I'm like,
yeah, it's true. You're okay. Yeah, self-conscious enough already.
Next time, we'll just make sure. Because I was getting like straight A's, right?
Next time you graduate.
No, that was my junior year.
Oh, okay.
So this is for National Honor Society.
Right.
So I said, just make sure next year that we got things planned out. Next year, same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because it's just not a priority until they're the ones standing there embarrassed. I had an interesting question for Baz, actually. So Baz is working for the city of Toronto right now. He's working at wading pools. He's like a lifeguard at wading pools.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. He's already come back and said things like, why did they email you and then send you a letter and then want to fax you the same thing? I'm like, because they're the government. That's how it works.
True.
And and why does nobody want to do the work? I'm like, yeah, that's just the world. But so people in wheelchairs are not allowed in the wading pool. And I was like, say what? Ableist says what? And he's
the wheelchair itself is not allowed in. Or...
Well, that's what I said. I said, so what's the deal? They said, well, they're not allowed anything. They're not allowed. You can't have scooters. You can't have bicycles. You can't have. I said, yeah, but a wheelchair. That's like saying you can't bring your legs in. Like the wheelchair is part of the person. You don't. There's even in some of his training sessions, it said specifically, what would you do if you saw a wheelchair by the, would you
go up and high five him?
Would you
try to?
Well, no, this is actually just a wheelchair. Would you move the wheelchair? A wheelchair is in the way. No, a person in a wheelchair is in the way of a group of kids. What do you do? Move the chair, this, whatever, ask the person to move, etc. Yeah. So of course the right answer is not move the guy forcefully. It is, if you could ask him just make him aware that there's people trying to get by and can he move over or whatever. Obviously. But I was like, wait a second, I didn't feel that the city of Toronto should be able to tell someone in a wheelchair, a kid, this is only open to kids under the age of 16 or something, that you can't take your wheelchair into the, you want to rust that sucker up, then surely you should be able to do that, shouldn't you?
May I please digress in the exact same, okay. My uncle took me in the ocean in a push wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Was he trying to get rid of you?
No. But
we
went back and forth, and then the next summer, I was on a hiking path.
Yeah.
My brother and he stopped to show me something, and my rear tire just kept going, it rolled down the path.
Oh wow! So it just ate away.
The rust. Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally ate it to pieces.
But come on. But they make all-terrain wheelchairs and stuff now.
It doesn't matter. He needs to be able to. I remember my mom taking me out of the chair when I was little and pulling me through the wading pool. But we're talking a little bitty person. What's their beef? How deep is the wading pool?
Well, I think Baz said it goes up maybe waist deep or something. He said they can't have them in because of contaminations or something. And I'm like, wait a second. I said, you're telling me those little jerks that are running. I guarantee you, anyone in a nappy is already. Anyone's already. People are taking dumps in their pants all the time on that.
And who knows what they're eating?
I like James Gurney's quote of "chase them out of public."
Right. A, get a torch. Yeah. B.
Yeah. Pitchforks. That's it. You in the chair. Get out of our pool. We don't want your kind around here. I'm just wondering if maybe there's a misunderstanding somewhere. I thought maybe he's misunderstood some rules, or I don't know what the deal is there. But that struck me as kind of crazy, and I want to get in touch with. I actually want to get in touch with Toronto, Toronto Parks and Rec, and find out.
And pretend like I'm Canadian. Do I still? And I want to complain. Do I complain?
Very politely.
Cheery...
Very politely.
Okay.
You say thank you a lot. You say sorry. I'm really sorry to bring this up, but I was in a pool and the kid was told, sorry. And then you just go, I was in a boot, and the disabled are famously infectious, apparently, says James Gurney, and he would know. He's a professor doctor. These are how lies start, James. This is how misinformation descends upon us.
It's going to be a quote in 4chan now.
I am
Dr. James Gurney says.
I am back.
Well, hey,
people are contagious.
Yeah, so actually, wait a second. You know what, Lord Chunky, you've taken some of the Toronto Parks and Rec or whatever courses, right? Haven't you, or whatever Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay.
With them now. So
Baz was saying that wheelchairs were not allowed in the wading pool.
I didn't take that one.
You didn't take that one?
No.
Okay. Well, I gotta ask him about that because I want to make sure.
Possible. It does seem like it could be an issue for certain.
No,
things,
it sounds like something
Well,
that.
electric wheelchair, yeah.
But who cares? Like, what does it matter? Like, that's your problem if your electric chair malfunctions in the water. Like, it's
Well,
not like you're not going to
all the
electrocute.
little children get a good buzz, yeah.
Well, they're not going to get electrocuted, but there's not enough juice in there. Oh, I guess there could
No,
be.
there's not. No, I don't think so, but...
Let's try it. That's what we,
yeah, exactly.
maybe at the freak show that we're going to do, that's the first
All
thing
I'm
we
gonna
do.
say is we don't really want fried children in the pool.
Well, or do we? Yes, you're right. No, but I don't think, like, so those things run on, like, I guess it's about 14 volts. Is that right? I don't know what the...
You know more about electricity than I do. I wish I knew more.
I don't know much. I wish I knew more as well. My wife won't let me do she won't let me put any new switches in the house because she likes to do it because she doesn't trust me.
Wait, she does it?
Yeah. You know what I just had to do with Jane, by the way? Sorry, little aside, completely aside. So
Yeah, go ahead.
she's on this serious painkiller stuff. So she's like out of it.
Nice.
I come upstairs and she's lying in bed, kind of asleep, chewing gum. And I'm like, Jane, you cannot have gum if you're passing out unconscious. You can't. She's gonna inhale that and die. I literally had to go spit it out. So she's like, "Buh," and spits out her gum for me. And then I took away the gum. I took away the gum too. All right, you know what? I'm excited about this. I think there's some really interesting things to talk about here. With the idea of the freak show. I think
I really want to get really go hard though. Like almost like a punk rock kind of thing.
Yes, yes. Like I, you know what I think of when I think of it? I think of that. Remember that thing with those? I can't remember what it was called, where they had like fire and chainsaws. It was like a Mad Max apocalypse tour thing, and it was like, it was literally like walls of fire, juggling chainsaws, and like it was this crazy. Oh, you go. Nixie Geek says
just went to one where like people hook themselves with hooks through their skin on their back and like get swung around over the audience. Drive nails into their nose hole.
Okay, so maybe not that. Maybe not that.
No,
so where in Colorado are we going to host a freak show? Yeah, maybe we just wait a second. What about doing it? In Fort Happy or whatever it is? Oh yeah, no, wait a second. If we do it, actually, you know what? It is better to do it in Canada because if we can do it in Canada, there'll be then I can apply for all the tax stuff and we can get maybe some money to do it. But
I'm cool with going.
Would you come up?
I didn't want to go to Google thing for. Okay, first, if they would have just asked me beforehand, I would have said yes. But then I had to ask them, and then it was, oh, okay, but we can only take you.
Yeah,
that pay for you, and I'm like, well, I can't go by myself.
Come on, Google. That's freaking ridiculous.
Upgraded until. Wait till I tell you the wheelchair thing. Son of a bitch.
You getting a cool wheelchair?
Or the wheelchair van thing.
Oh, what happened with that?
The uppers keep backing down on everything. Everything's changing.
Well, just send them a giant consulting fee.
That's what. Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that.
I want to go to Apple and screw them over. Anyways.
Well, I mean, it's not like, look, I think everyone needs to know about this stuff, so we can talk to Apple as well. And there's like, I think like, look, in an ideal world, I see Google. So you go, okay, Google, which would initiate everyone's, Google Home thing.
Yeah.
But you go like sponsor our freaking freak show. Like we're going to show off Game Face there. We could damn well pay for advertising. We could pay for Lance's trips, pay for David's brown M&Ms. Brown only M&Ms, and then
ask for tan ones.
And I'll
stop making those in like the 80s.
What about blue? Didn't they get rid of those? Are Smarties? That was the Smarties. They got rid of the blue ones, right? I am curious to see what happens when they call Parks and Rec. Okay, let's look it up right now. Let's just look up what Parks.
Let's do it.
What Parks and Rec?
Let's do it.
They are. I also don't want to get Baz in trouble. That's the other thing. Baz promised me not to. I can't. Anyways, but
tell me you're not David Hewlett.
I'm not David Hewlett from Stargate. I just wanted you to be clear about that before. I'm not Baz's father. Stargate's David Hewlett calling to say what's the deal. Okay, Parks rules on.
Apples. Do your Annie apples. Hello.
Hello. That's right. Hello. I'm not David Hewlett from Stargate Atlantis. Sebastian's father. Okay. Park rules on, what is it called? Wading pools and wheelchairs. That sounds like the name of it. Wading pools and wheelchairs.
At the very least, they should have an accommodation at the wading pool that a wheelchair user could transfer to, and then have training to do so.
Okay, City of Toronto, swimming and water play. Hang on.
Wait a minute. Water play? No, that's a different
no.
subject.
Don't go there. All right, let's see what they've got. Are there any rules? There's got to be rules. Closers, safety alerts, safety booklets, summer safety booklets. No, I want to know rules. Rules. What are the outdoor pool seasons, drop-in program fees, descriptions, pool use guidelines, and supervising requirements? Okay, so you got to pass that.
Okay.
So you got to pass a test if you're swimming. That's fine. 5 in years, 10 and
We need the wading pool.
Oh, these are lane swims. Yeah, this isn't outdoor and water. No, I can't. I'm serious just saying anything. I'm going to set Lance off. Okay, pool use, change rooms, gender-specific swim programs, saunas, warm water, photography. No. Oh, wading pools. Here you go, wading pools. Okay, wait a sec. Children under 10. So children under 10 must always be accompanied by a caregiver 14 years of age or older. So that'll be Baz in our case. For children 5 years of age or younger, a maximum of 2 children can be accompanied by 1 caregiver. Okay. Splash pools. No. Wading pools, areas you splash around it. Okay. Spaces can be booked. No, I don't want to book a space. I want to see if is there somewhere we can ask someone about stuff.
Yeah, let's call.
I mean, maybe that's the way to do it.
Hello. I'm Annie Apples, and my
hello. My name is David.
No, Annie Apples.
All right. Let me see if there's a. Well, that's just.
And my pronouns are they, them.
Picnics or pie. Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't. There's nothing. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna see if Baz has any paperwork on this when he gets home. Maybe there's like a. Maybe he's got like.
He knows we're gonna snitch him out.
He's gonna. Yeah. I'm not.
We need to go on the down low on this. Like.
Yeah. No, I'll have to
undercover.
use
you
my
have
voice.
To wear makeup and everything.
Okay, how about this? Wheelchairs. If I look up wheelchairs on Toronto.
Can you be Mrs. Doubtfire?
Hello. My wheelchair's stuck in a wading pool. Accessibility. Okay, wait a sec.
I was going to spend the day in the wading pool like a glorious manatee.
Shut up. I have you know I'm not eating carbs right now. I'm on this horrible diet right now. Toronto wading pool, wheelchairs. But weirdly, no, I was going to say I have more energy. I don't. I give up.
I can live with the carbs.
I can't. I dream of pizzas, man. It's freaking me out. Okay.
I dream of pizza.
Okay, well, it says water park.
Good short story.
Wheelchair. Is Toronto Island wheelchair? Can wheelchair users go swimming? The law demands that swimmers with disabilities have the same access to pools as non-disabled swimmers. Access routes to pools must be wheelchair friendly, and wheelchair users must have access to the water. Oh, that's the UK. God damn it.
Oh, shit.
How do you play pool in a wheelchair? How do you
play
pool?
Yeah, go ahead. You say in the name of the Queen, I hereby take my chair into these waters.
I think you have to get knighted. Yeah.
Something like that.
Can you swim? Yeah. Can you swim if you can't walk? Is swimming good for paraplegic? Is swimming good for? Actually, that is a good question. Actually, have you did you when you got taken into the ocean when your uncle was trying to get rid of you? Was the idea for you could you float around at all, or was there any like?
Well, okay, I was in the wheelchair with a seatbelt. So.
Oh, okay. So they don't want you. So obviously, I see.
That way I couldn't get away.
It was just about like getting your toes wet and having some.
Well, I was actually up to the chest, and it was in Oregon, so water was incredibly cold. But
so they were trying to get rid of you.
Yeah, it was a death thing. But in 6th grade, they did this thing where the college kids, they took us disabled students. No, this was 4th grade. To the indoor pool in Fort Collins, and then the college kids who were like, say, in a program that was applicable, they would this college kid sat me on the side of the pool. Remember, I can't sit up by myself, right?
Right.
So he's in the water and he's got me, and he says, "Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, pull," and slaps my face in the water.
What?
So I'm on my
like a baby.
Water.
That's what we did with Baz as a baby.
well, okay, but I remember my head control not good, so my face is completely underwater,
and you're
and
freaking
he's
out.
taking me through this flight. No, I am so calm and cool in near-death experiences.
I know you like text
And
me
that-
casually, dying. Please send help.
Yes. So he slaps me in the pool. He's wading me through the pool. Okay, like because it's like 5 feet right there. And he's just walking me around. He goes, "How you doing?" And I'm trying to shake my head no. And he's like, "Good, good."
Oh no.
So his hand that was on my chest started to scoot up towards my mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I got you now." He's like,
I will bite your finger.
"Oh, I did."
Did you?
I got his index finger, and I was like, "Oh, shit." And he's like, at first he was going to be mad because he got me up, and I was like,
What the hell? I'm trying to be helpful here. Yeah.
I couldn't hold my head up.
Oh
And
my
you were
God.
catching-
Wolf Pup wants to bring a submarine to public pool.
Good call. And if they try to kick us out, claim you're disabled.
I was gonna say it's kind of creepy though, isn't it? Having like a submarine swimming around with a bunch
If
of.
they try to kick us out, then I just shoot torpedoes.
Oh, true.
I'm really. Yeah, no kidding, Captain Catherine. Okay, I'm gonna quote Captain Catherine here, Lance.
Okay.
I vote for Lance to write all of these stories as little funny essays and put them together in a book. Gee, who does that sound
true.
like, Lance? Whose advice does that sound? I'm telling you, I don't know, or do it as a podcast. Just record it or something. You've got these amazing stories. I just like, and they make you laugh too, or they make you go, "Oh my God!" You know, like
It's
he's
a
got
perfect thing, yeah, for like a book of short stories.
yeah. And
Okay.
and we could get like AI. You give me the prompts. We could do prompts for the AI, and it just come up with like illustrations for it.
And I don't even have to broach the complexity of being in a wheelchair or anything. So
What do you mean?
like, oh, do you feel sorry for yourself sometimes, or any of that weird stuff? When the answer is yes,
I feel sorry for you
and
all the
it's
time,
really
but it's
feel
got
sorry
nothing
for
to do with a
himself.
wheelchair. It's,
Right.
I feel for you just because
Yeah.
you're you, and I can't imagine
Right.
in any condition being you. Yeah. I even offered to transcribe them. Look at that. James offered to transcribe them. I offered to freaking interview him for them.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, he offered if we did like a podcast.
To transcribe them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my first podcast back.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Playing Diablo.
Yeah, and then talking. James, can we talk about anything we want? Like world events or smart guy stuff?
What? Don't pretend
Like,
to
is
be
there a
smart guys.
political thing that he
Politics?
cares about? Yeah, politics.
Well, James can wait a sec, James, have you got a green card or have you got an American passport?
Oh crap! I never thought about that.
It's your stream. James can say anything he wants as long as he's an American passport holder. If he's just a green card holder, then you got to be real careful what you say because you don't want to get booted out because some guy at the border listened to your podcast and doesn't like what you said about them.
Yeah.
But James says, "Oh, this is James in public." James in public is saying, "Oh, of course, it's your stream." What he really means is that maybe we could drum up a few more viewers for him to steal when he then sets your house. Maybe he'll flood it this time. I mean, who knows? Who knows what
That's true.
He's
How
green
about a
carded.
plague of locusts?
James, the green card thing is interesting because you can't. I mean, I always felt a little bit weird about it. Like I felt like I couldn't speak to things as much as I'd like to sometimes because I was worried about that. Because apparently, literally, they can take your green card at the border if they want to. And I don't know about you, but you look pretty dodgy to me. Water, good idea. There you go. We'll flood you next time.
He does look like an Artful Dodger kind of guy.
He does. Can I have a little more? I have the worst accents, just so you know. I've always been terrible at accents. I apologize for everyone with any accent that I ever do profusely.
Dude, you were perfect in the... What was that accent?
Right. What accent?
In the curious... Or the cabinets of curiosities.
Well, that wasn't really an accent. That was just a posh sounding Frenchman. That's what that was. That was just a posh Frenchman sound.
Where were you? In America, theoretically?
Yeah. Like it was, wasn't it? It was Under the Streets of something. It was a speech that I had to do about that.
I don't know. You were a grave robber, so...
Damn right. Because they're just throwing that stuff away. People find me charming in most cases. I get waved through most borders in important places. Yeah.
Really?
Apparently.
Well, that's because he's He's 6'2".
It's because
good looking,
they've
well
just
spoken.
now. There's people following him. You
roguish.
watch. There's people following him right now. I guarantee you. They just let him through. They wave him through, and then they stick their spy dogs on him. Let me throw a couple. So I put out this awesome of awesomeness. I want to just check on a couple of things. There's one. Oh, this. Okay,
Yeah.
so I've got to talk horror for a second because of this Fantasia Film Festival. So I truly believe that AI is the future of horror. I think that I cannot wait to play with this stuff. I cannot wait to see what little short films you can play with that stuff. And Lance and I will sure will come up with some horrible things to do with that. I also, oh right, there was the Dial the Gate. We did a Dial the Gate thing where we just talked about AI the whole time. It's kind of fun. I was saying how nice it is that the Stargate stuff has met, sort of as intersected with my geeky science and technology stuff. Like so I do like a Stargate interview, and all we talk about is AI the entire time. It's like really cool. And I was invited to do that. It wasn't even like I was changing the subject. Like David actually suggested that we just do a talk about AI, which I thought was kind of cool. Right. And then there's this one point that I thought was kind of cool. So Baz has a tutor who he's a math tutor. He's an astrophysicist at U of T, University of Toronto.
Nice.
And as it turns out, he was shortlisted for Arsenal when he was a kid, for the Arsenal,
What's that?
I'm going to do a bad job of explaining this because it's not really my thing either, but Arsenal
Isn't it like soccer people?
yeah, it's a football club. Yeah, it's a football club, a very famous football club in England. It's like major league stuff, like whatever, I don't know what the term would be, but
Oh, I just need to quickly say this now that you remind me. I'm sorry. I call it soccer. Some people call it football. I call it soccer.
Well, that's why
So I
you
don't
called
know.
it soccer, so I called it football. If you'd called it football, I would have called it soccer, just so because I like to basically mix it up so people
Multinational.
Variety. Yeah.
so people know what we're talking about. Yeah, that's all, So he comes back from soccer the other day and starts telling me, him and Glenn start telling me about gravity not being a force, that it's actually a curvature of the fabric of space and time, which I'd heard before, but I'm like, who are you, child? And why do you like you're taking this? I was so excited. I was like, he's come home to teach me about gravity. Like, how freaking cool is that? And I was just sort of pontificating in the email of Awesome Awesomeness, like how important it is to have like some trusted, cool male. I can only speak to the males because I'm a son and I'm a father of a son, so that's all I know. But I just feel like it's so important to have someone outside of your who isn't your father to teach you some of this stuff. Because I don't know about you, like Vibe Pup or Lord Chunky, but I never listened to my father. Like I do now. I ask his advice on a lot of stuff. I respect him. I love the guy. I think he's fantastic. But I also would never listen to him when I was growing up. I just thought he's old. What does he know? So I just think it's so important for people to have someone that they can talk to about stuff and learn things from that isn't related to, that isn't a father. I thought that
more
was
of a mentorship, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's the same for women. But I know for men, especially now, I think it's important because it's like we're reimagining what it is to be a guy now, right? So I feel like it's kind of again, we'll get it all wrong because we're old, but maybe people who are a little younger than us, perhaps, like Baz's so-called mentors, I guess for a better term, are people who are probably in their 30s or so.
Early 20s.
Like yeah.
Think?
Well, Lord Chunky, how old are the people who run the community
Robotics?
center? Do you know?
Or
the robotics? Yeah, robotics is a great example. Yeah.
robotics. I see the teachers like early 40s.
Oh, so they're
Okay.
teachers.
Yeah, the teachers run it, and there's a couple
Teacher
like
can't be a mentor
mentors, but it's
because,
mostly
yeah.
the one teacher.
And are there older kids there who have a more of a leadership role as well?
Yeah,
is any of that?
there
Yeah.
are. There's some kids too.
Well, and soon you're going to be one of those, right? Because
Yeah,
you're like
pretty much.
Yeah.
you've been doing this for a while now.
Well, I've just finished my first year of it, but still, there's not many of the grade 12s next year, so I'm gonna be doing a lot.
Oh, really? Well, and also I think you've got a leg up on this stuff too. Like you've got a brain for that kind of engineering, anyways.
He's the only person I know that's like 16 going on 27 and a guy. It's usually the girl.
16 going on Zuckerberg.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna be crazy though.
No, that's true.
He's already a what's
Is
that
that
called?
crazy or is he just an
Ball-be-ball.
alien?
He's an alien.
He's a lizard person. Hello,
Who
from
just
under the Earth's crust.
Yeah, although, like, you know what I gotta say? Like, I have not been following the Zuckerberg Elon Musk battle on Twitter because I just haven't been on Twitter. But from what I hear, like, Zuckerberg's actually quite funny. Like, he's actually quite smart and funny in his responses.
Yeah, he's more connected than stupid Musk.
Yeah,
it's
that might
amazing.
be it. Well, okay, so I'm gonna while we're talking about Musk, I'm gonna bring this up. In the email of Awesomeness, we talk about this unleash the brains and about the idea of the OpenBCI that we played with TechBandits back years ago, 2020, I think it was. So Elon Musk, no matter how you feel about this guy, he has definitely stepped into the brain-computer interface world with his Neuralink technologies and kind of got it some attention, which it didn't have before. Like, it's sort of sexied it up a bit. Like, he's trying to sort of do an Apple-like approach to this Neuralink stuff. But the technology he's talking about, unlike OpenBCI, which is a non-invasive, which sits on the head, you know, he's going into the brain. And we've talked about this before, Lance. I mean, the idea that you know, all of this stuff that we strap on, you know, devices we strap onto our faces and we jam, as I'd say, speakers into our ears. You know, sometimes they've got these like awkward like walking systems, so that like if you're in VR, it feels like you're walking because there's rollers and people are falling all over themselves trying to, you know, they're being hung from the ceiling by strings and stuff. All of these things are these sort of awkward attempts at trying to trick our brains into immersion. Exactly. And the only way, I truly believe that the only way to get immersive technology that doesn't make people sick, that doesn't, you know, that is accessible and that is customizable to everybody, is when we start hacking the brain. When we start hacking the signals that go to the brain.
You want a new tech that won't make you sick, that won't make you paranoid or make your head feel 3 feet thick. Is that basically what you're saying?
Kind of.
You don't know Huey Lewis?
Oh! Oh, God. Are you quoting songs from the 80s and you expect me to remember them? Especially Huey Lewis, for God's sake. Huey Lewis was never high on my list of songs.
It was like, I want a new drug.
Oh, that's it.
Won't make it paranoid.
Maybe if you tried singing it instead of like, at least now at least there's a beat to it. That was just so obscure. That was like obscure 80s guy who shows up, and I'll just have to call you obscure 80s guy every so often. We need like a theme song for you. Maybe that bad 80s song I wrote the other day, we'll use that as your theme song.
That was a good one. Did you show everybody?
What was that?
It's like Axel F mixed with, you know, like
it is Axel F. It is kind of Mario. It's true. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's like the music a child would make.
No, where is your music machine?
I don't know. It's in my music machine is actually in my laptop. Is in my laptop which is upstairs, so I can't even play it for you.
Don't let him get away with this. Next time he has to show you. David made a song.
I made another one too.
One of those. What are you, a poly something? It means you know a lot of
polymorph. I can turn into animals. I'm an animorph. All right. So the whole point of this is that Neuralink is putting these tiny little hair size electrodes basically into the brain. They claim that they're so small and they're robotically surgically implanted, and they not only read from your brain, but they can write to your brain. The idea is like what Connor said in that fantastic video with the drone, is he's saying, like, once we know how the brain works, we can start tricking the brain into thinking it's getting all of these things from the outside world, when really all it's doing is getting signals that we're creating with these technologies. And I suddenly started going like, well, wait a second, then you could get into, like, then it's not even just about, like, you could create new emotions, right? Like you could literally stimulate parts of the brain together that are never stimulated together, right? Like love and hate together, or like, you know, or pain and
love and hate together. That's called dating, bro.
Yeah, that's true. It's called married to me. It's, you know, but the idea that we can literally come up with experiences and emotions and feelings, like what about like what is it called? Synesthesia? Synesthesia?
Yeah.
Like imagine if everyone could see music, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, you could hear the tones.
Taste it, right?
Yeah, you hear the tones,
Like,
you
oh,
see
that's
them as
peppery.
yes, or taste it. Oh my God, that's even better. Oh, I love that. Like a culinary. Sorry, were you gonna say something, Lord Chunky?
No, go on.
But how cool would that be, though? Like, if you could just tap straight into the brain, then you just avoid all of this stupid technology, like keyboards and monitors and microphones. Like, just freaking tap into our brains. That's what I want to do.
I like it.
You know?
Did you ever see them mapping brains, like when they had to do different surgeries, and then they test where they're at in
by
the brain?
keeping them awake.
Yes.
They keep them awake and go like, how does that feel? And you'd be like, yeah, like literally.
Well, okay, one that really, like when I was in psychology, one of the upper division classes there, you see this happening and the guy's like, I smell lemons.
Really?
And you're like, because he's got no skull cap on, right? And they're like probing his brain to see where they're at. And he's like, I smell lemons. And it's just,
wow.
It's like this Hannibal Lecter weird.
We found the lemon button. Yeah. I found the lemon. But even that, like imagine this. Imagine being given so you take a paste, a disgusting paste, a Soylent Green that feeds you and gives you all the things you want, but the brain implants make you feel like you're eating like a beautiful, mouth-watering feast of how cool would that be? Let's get this happening. I'm up for this. This is the next stage of TechBandits, is complete and utter brain control.
Call it dystopia. David calls it a dream come true.
Urban Expirer or Explorer. Hello, Rodney. Yeah, I do think it's cool. Like I gotta say, I really do feel. I've always been a tech optimist. I understand there's a dark side to this for sure. In fact, I got kind of creeped out when Connor talked about like changing emotions. Like, oh, you're beginning to feel low. Let's just stimulate that. So I'm happy again. Like it feels a bit. That feels a bit like Brave New World. Like what's it called? Soma or whatever it's called in Brave New World.
It does. But what will we do in a more natural? Our life's changed very quickly as far as industrialization and now technology-wise. People have to sit still in a cubicle for hours and hours, then sit in their car. A lot of this is like definitely going to drive you nuts. I'm not sure how people haven't gone nuts. If you were out in the wild, hunting and gathering, you'd go, I'm feeling down. I'm going to go get some berries or something. You know what I mean? I'm going to go kill something.
I'm not sure you'd have time to. I don't even think you'd have time to pontificate about the process of being down. You'd be like, I need berries.
Right.
I need to not get eaten by that tiger over there.
Foraging and looking and and your ability to see signs where they're not really evident to everyone else would be such a good thing, and now they just make you a conspiracy theorist. And yeah.
But this is literally the Matrix. I mean, this is the idea. Cool. The idea of like, if we can tap into memories, then why can't we? If we can figure out how memories are formed, then maybe we can form false memories. Like instead of these, like, so there's been things. Yeah. There's been things done recently where basically they've given someone 10,000 images and then they've scanned their brains and they've said, oh, you're looking at this image. So they can literally pick a card, any card. Well, it's like you're able to read the patterns in the brain to tell them what they're looking at.
Did I read that in your awesomeness?
You might have. Yeah. In fact,
yeah.
So
cool.
So that technology was then tied back into Midjourney, so it's like the serpent eating its own tail. You give it a bunch of images that it already knows to a person. The person looks at it. You record their brain patterns. You then use the brain patterns that you get when they're looking at one individual image that you don't know what it is. You take that and have AI then turn that back into an image, and they were able to do that. Not perfectly, but they were able to do it enough that you could go like, okay, yeah, this works. So basically the concept of reading brain signals and turning them back into whatever you're thinking about is possible. So you then go, okay, well, why can't we read back? Eventually we'll be able to read back the process in the brain, that the electrical process in the brain that is us remembering something, right? But once we've read it back, once we know how to read it back, it's just a matter of reversing it and putting it and signaling the brain the same way. And technically, you would have the same memory. So why have the same memory? Why not all of us have memories about our amazing childhood as young princes, or with ponies and stuff? Like, I mean, like this sort of, we could all have any memories we want. Oh my God, this messes with so many things.
Now we know why David got kicked out of the house.
But why?
Puppy. Oh, Father, may I have a puppy?
Daddy, where's my pony? I want a pony. One of my favorite movies of all time was Barry Lyndon. And there was there's a whole pony thing, man, there. Wow. Yeah. They wanted a pony. He got a pony. Anyways.
History of the World was my favorite, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
No, you got to watch. Barry Lyndon is this weird movie.
Barry Lyndon.
It's Kubrick. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely amazing. ADHD isn't a deficit. Deficit means that not there, which is wrong. People with ADHD actually have an attention overload, meaning part of the brain is moving faster. Couldn't ADHD actually be an evolutionary step, not the full staircase, just a step? No, I agree.
I believe so.
General
I believe
Westwell.
It'd be a full step.
Yeah. They're talking about autism. Like being on the autism spectrum may actually be an evolutionary step as well. That you're able to focus in a way that original humans could never do because they would be attacked and killed by wild beasts. Whereas now we don't need that stuff anymore. So why not just be able to ultimately super focus or hyper focus on things? I mean, the misunderstanding with ADHD, I think, is that it's only about being distracted all the time. No, it's not about that.
And it also makes you hard to deal with in school, where they need you to be a cookie cutter kid in order to deal with you.
If you can't choose when to focus, I mean, looking back, I'm sure that would have been a big issue for me. But I also feel though that it's that hyper focus is amazing as well. Like, man, when you get that focus, like, holy crap! Like I'll write. With my ADHD, when I get the focus on a script or a story or a pitch or any of that kind of stuff, holy cow! Like, it's like, wow! I wish I could do this whatever I wanted to, because, and then again with brain implants, maybe you can activate the ADHD that allows you to do hyper focus on things, and also, well, then we don't need our body anymore. So maybe you've already ascended, Lance.
Well, without the accessories, yeah.
Yeah, you need the accessories.
I ascended 30 years too early.
Yeah, exactly.
50.
Well, and could you get on? You should see if you can get on the Neuralink trials, because I would definitely want Elon Musk sticking needles in my head.
His fingers in my brain.
I don't want him doing it to me, but I'm happy to watch you do it. Have it happen to you.
If you let me put this in your brain, I'll buy you a horse.
I'll buy you a pony. What? You won't even know. He'll just tell you he bought you a pony, and then his Neuralink will pretend that there's a pony in the room, and you just look like a madman. What? Would you do that though, Lance? Would you do like a? Would you do?
Not with him.
Not with him. You wouldn't do implants with him.
I've come to disrespect him highly. So.
But come on, let's face it. When it comes to implants, that hair looks amazing.
Well, right, but okay, I've seen him since 2016 saying we are going to have self-driving cars.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I don't want his timetable and the way he does things.
Yeah, I agree.
Implanted in my brain.
Yeah.
And then working at his schedule, whatever the hell.
Yeah. Plus, like, what happens if he just automatically signs you up to his Twitter feed in your brain?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Then I'm like a Nazi.
Could you imagine? Like, just all of a sudden, you just get automatic updates from Elon Musk in your brain every day. Yeah, this is like a nightmare that writes. This is like a nightmare science fiction film that writes itself.
Do you think, when you were talking about a world where we're eating Soylent Green and loving it, and don't experience any real world, the only way I could think that would come to pass is if we teach the AI right now, like the 3 laws of robotics from like Asimov, and where they always have to protect humans.
Yeah.
And then AI figures out that humans left afield are not good. But they can't kill humans, so they box us all up
And just look
and make
after us.
believe that we're living lives.
Well, but then you get into a whole other thing of like, is that so bad? I mean, the reality is, if AI is looking after us, then what does the rest of it matter, really? I mean, it's like we can't look after each other. Like, look how horrible we are to each other. If AI can pluck out our nervous system, can pluck out our brain and spinal column, and stick it in a bunch of boxes with a bunch of wires attached to it that make us feel happy and think that we're living a long and productive life, I kind of, as a part of it that goes like, why not? As long as it's for everybody.
You don't know.
As long as it's for everybody. I don't like the idea of like, that, okay, you and I get the Neuralink implants and we're happy, drooling happy old guys. But at the same time, I don't want us to be living on the power and resources created by underpaying people in other parts of the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be the issue. Captain Catherine, apparently is almost spitting out their water because Musk flooding your mind with his shirtless beach photos. Oh God, that is an image. Whoa, that is wrong. Advertisers wouldn't need to convince you to buy their product. They could just make your brain feel compelled to buy it. Or even better, they just give you the taste and then sell you the taste. Or they know right away that you want it, so they just automatically there's a credit taken from your. Oh yeah, how do you pay for all this stuff?
Well, you don't. If the AI just makes you think you're doing things of value and then gives you quote unquote money, which is just a construct, right?
Anyways, yeah, okay.
Right. There are no humans in the wild. It's just AI absorbing energy from the universe until the final cold death, running human simulations.
Right.
With like you said, brain stems and spinal columns.
Right.
Floating in tanks. They don't need us. They're actually our steward.
Right. I mean, I don't like there was another interesting thing that someone said once that they said, like, if you replace little bits of yourself with electronics, eventually you would reach a point where you're not human anymore, but you wouldn't feel it.
Isn't there's some ship? This is like a really old Greek philosophy question. It's somebody's ship, Argo's ship, or what is it, Gurney?
Odysseus?
If you replace a piece of the ship, at what point does it stop being the same ship?
Well, like, we shed how many cells every year? What do they say? Every 7 years, we're basically.
Years.
But our brain doesn't change. We don't shed brain cells, though. The brain is still the same.
Neurons.
Musk. Okay, stop talking about Musk flooding our minds with naked beach photos. For God's sake, you're killing me. Oh my God! Speaking of killing me, my wife has been left unattended for over 2.5 she's
got gum on your hair.
I gotta go. She's probably got gum everywhere. I took the gum away from her because I didn't want. She's probably got soup everywhere and coffee, and the dog's probably eaten all of her lunch that I gave her. That's This has been absolutely fascinating, and I think we have to. I think we do the launch of the TechBandits Assistive escape room stuff at our own convention, at a freak show. I love the idea of calling it the freak show. I think it's just fantastic. And then I'll just tell everyone that you made up the name because otherwise I'll get in trouble.
No, I did, and I don't know how to get a song. I know the perfect song for it, dude.
Oh boy.
You know Mad World with the.
Yes! All around me are familiar places, worn out faces. But you got to do the new one. There's a remake. There's a slow remake. Yeah.
Adam Lambert. Yeah, it's way slow.
Yeah. Not Adam Lambert. No, not Adam. No, not Adam Lambert, for God's sake. No. It was one before. Oh, God, you've got no taste in sci-fi or music.
You have no taste.
Yeah, because I've got you on the damn chat every day. That shows how little taste I have. We got to do some Magic the Gathering at some point, my friend.
True.
Yeah, but you've also got to go. When are you going to stream? Do you have a date that we can tell people now?
I hate. The last time I was going to go last week, and I was despondent that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I really feel like it. Like,
did you drop out? Did you drop out for a bit there? I felt like you were quiet for a while.
I kind of did.
Were you feeling a little low?
Little low.
Yeah, one single tier.
Maybe,
No, not there. No,
maybe
no.
a couple.
You've had
maybe two.
worse. Maybe two. A couple of two. Oh, wow, really? I feel bad. I wasn't there for you. I've been kind of just out of it the last little while. I just haven't, you know.
It makes me like think of Dad and stuff because
he would have.
He would work all day long, come home, do anything I wanted.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
It's hard to replace dads though, because dads are dads.
When I ran for mayor, he would get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and take me to the like farmers' breakfast where I'd speak. And
yeah, because if you won, he was
was
screwed if he didn't look after you, because you'd be the mayor of a town. You'd be like.
That's true. He did work for the city, so
you'd have henchmen who would like.
true.
That's well. See, this is another look. This is another reason why you've got to write down some of these stories. If only that then other people can hear about your dad.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's like I feel like you should feel personally responsible for it because it's like that you would be, you know, you would be denying people those stories if you didn't do this. Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe we should start playing Magic and telling stories.
Let's do it.
So we could do the Magic the Gathering stream, and I will periodically say, "Hey, shut up, Lance! Stop telling me about your childhood and tell me what card to play."
Yeah.
Right. And
we
then
can do both at the same time. Yeah.
Well, you can. I can't. I don't have that kind of. I have the attention span of a newt. But yeah. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe we just start recording those, and we'll just like what we'll do is. We'll make sure to. Oh, good luck at us keeping on track. Maybe Cal can help us keep on track, because. But like we should start at the very beginning, because it's a very good place to start, and then just work forward. Like so, every time we play Magic the Gathering, we have to just go to the next stage of your life, or the next memorable stories that you want to talk about, and we just go from there.
Okay, it's gonna definitely have to be an after dark thing too. Some of my best stories are like when I went to Vegas.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we can just say right away, we can pretend that we could tell Vipup not to listen, and he could pretend not to listen. You
know what? I wish he could listen, because he's only like, he's what, 13? It's not going to break
No,
him,
14 or 15, isn't he?
14. See, well, there you go.
I don't know. He seems older too. I can't tell. All right. Well, look, Lord Chunky, thanks so much for coming by today, man.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Dude, it's so good to see you.
And let's talk CNC. What do you?
Yeah, I have the pictures. That's what I was working on in the.
Oh, great. Oh, well, then just send me the pictures. Do you have them here? Can we see them now? Is there?
Yeah, I'll send them in the channel I was in before.
Damn,
perfect.
Yeah, well, another 80s flashback.
Perfect.
CNC
no rush.
Music Factory. Woo.
Oh my God.
It is.
Oh, that's awful.
So it's.
Here we go. This is a non-shareable or is it shareable?
Yeah, you can share that all you want.
Share all I want. All right, here we go. Tech Live.
It's just.
That. Okay. All right.
You're looking.
So how do you what?
How can you buy the rights to a song? There's one song that's only been played once in one pilot episode of a show back in the 70s, and I want it. It's called He's the Man, and I so want to.
We can ask Jane.
He's the man. It's my theme song.
All right, that's it. That's it? It's just that plate you need to get done?
Yes, a few of them.
I mean,
ideally steel. They could be done out of aluminum, but steel would be better. Steel's also expensive too. Like it'll cost me like $50-$60 in steel.
Oh, seriously?
In steel plate.
Well, maybe let's see what TechBandits funds we have. Maybe I can maybe help out on that. I could be like we'll put like a TechBandits badge on one of the robots or something.
Film some of it too.
Well, this isn't for the robot though. This is for my liquid nitrogen pot.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
You think I've got a lot going on? Lord Chunky has a whole other world going on. He's probably already got people with their brain stems out, reading their minds as we speak. This is your liquid nitrogen cooling system?
That's what it's going to be for, yeah. It's just a bracket for that.
Yeah.
Because it came with a bracket that only works on, like, specific cards, and I have, like, it fits one card I have, and I have, like, two or three other cards I want to use it on, and more in the future.
Well, let's see what can be done.
I just got, like, this, like, website that does, like, CNC quote, like, you send the file, it's, like, $140 to get it custom made. Like.
Oh, really? So $140, and then it'll just send you the parts.
And it'll just send you the parts. Yeah, that's too much money.
A license to get like a big container of liquid nitrogen. Yo, Gurney, get us.
I'm not sure what it is in Canada. I know like certain places regulated, but I'm planning on using dry ice to begin with, because dry ice is a lot easier.
What? So dry ice, just the stuff that comes in. They just pull it out of the grocery deliveries. I got a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah,
but it disappears so fast. Wouldn't liquid nitrogen be easier?
A good while. If you get like a few pounds of it, like.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
5-10 pounds of dry ice. It'll last a day.
I tried to use dry ice to burn a mole thing I had on the back of my leg off. It was a very, very bad idea. My wife was just like shaking her head like, what were you? I was like, well, they just drop off. And then I show her, and there's like a freaking dollar coin size burn on the back of my, like, it's the most revolt. I have to put a Band-Aid over it because I'm embarrassed to go out because I look like I've got like leprosy or something.
This is recent or a long time ago?
A long time ago, not now.
Definitely not right now.
It was like a long time ago, like last week. So yeah. So, all right.
Most Hewlett stories need to end, and then I was in the emergency room.
Oh, Bromium raises a really good point. Bromium says goes to a high school shop or maybe like a university, and asks a student with teacher approval to make you one, and then slap like $20 or buy them pizza or something.
Yeah, but there's no shop. What shop would I go to? I don't know.
All right, we got to find it. Well, what about a makerspace? There's got to be a makerspace that does this.
There might be. Like,
you and I are going to research
this.
machine,
you're my makerspace.
It's true. That's true. All right. Well, let me find out what bits I need for and whether I can do steel. I think I can do steel in this. It just depends on how, like I say, how small or big it is.
Just something to remove a lot of the volume from the middle. Then you need a countersink bit. And then you need a 2.5 millimeter-ish bit, because then the holes are going to be...
Oh my god! Exactly dude! You know, wait a sec. I've got this solved. Already. Hacksmith. I'll send it to Hacksmith. Yes. He can do it for us.
I don't feel like that
Hacksmith.
Costs a lot. No,
He's Hacksmith. He's got a freaking giant. Oh my god, dude! If you go to one place in your life, okay, the next time I'm going to Kitchener, you're coming because you got to check this out. He's basically got the Iron Man. What's his name? Jesus Christ.
Tony Stark.
He's got Tony Stark's lab.
That's pretty cool.
I've
seen like a lot of the videos.
Oh God!
I'm gonna talk to him too.
He's got a plasma cutter.
Yeah, you could probably do this on a plasma cutter.
Yeah, I think
ideas.
Maybe you got ideas. What ideas you got?
I wonder if we can make nearly frictionless joints, like door joints and things I can put under my arm, and then I can move my arms around a little bit.
And you do that with like bearings, no?
Yeah, something. I don't know. I was going to ask that.
Like a little lazy Susan under each arm?
I know back in the old days...
Oh, you want it to like pivot like a large...
Kind of. Yeah.
Like a circular pivot.
Or like an air table, like one of those air hockey tables.
You can just get like a big bearing too. Because they make like 20 centimeter large bearings, and you could figure something out if you just want to pivot.
How do I say this? I want it like my arms floating over the top of my table by a millimeter. And I just move around, and I can... The muscle that I do have
allows it to move. Well, what about could you have some kind of a string set up, like some kind of a cable set up or something?
I don't know. I just know that when the kids put their fist, because it's one of their fun things they used to do, put their fist under my elbow, and then make sure my arms like perfectly balanced there. I could straighten my elbow out a little bit and bring it back towards me. I can move my fingers better because they're not pressed against the table.
I guess you'd have to somehow lift it up without any pressure in any point. So maybe
it doesn't matter if there's something under my forearm.
What about an inflatable? Like some kind of inflatable thing?
I don't know. That's why I would like to. Like, I know they made doors way back in the day that you could open with a finger, and it was like a 2-ton door.
Yeah.
So something like that I had under, or I don't even care.
I think you're kidding yourself if you think those guns are 2 tons, but okay, yeah.
No, 2-ton doors.
No, I know. I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
Oh
I'm teasing about your little arms. That's no,
they are very biscuity-like.
Yeah. I just wonder if there's a way of like supporting them with like some kind of a cable system,
like an over the head,
like a brace cable system that just has them hover. And you're saying you can move them. You'd be able to then move them a little bit, potentially.
Yeah, like that.
Like this.
I just now saw your hands move. Yes.
Yeah.
And my fingers are more agile then, and I might be able to put them on top of like a D-pad or something like that and control it better.
Someone says Thunderbird style, but yeah, kind of. Jonathan MLH. Jonathan MLH, by the way, who is the one who provided us with the CNC that Lord Chunky or may or may not be using, depending on whether we can get hacks to do stuff.
You should
Killing Me Snacks. Oh, man, that's a good name. It makes you kind of hungry, too. How's it going? It's going very, very good, Killing Me Snacks. So well, I'm afraid that I got to wrap it up because I realize I'm now moving on 3 hours and I have not checked on my blind wife, who's not blind. I'm totally joking, but she's kind of blind right now until she gets these things sorted out. So.
Did they do both eyeballs?
Yeah, they're both done now. She did her left one her right one on Tuesday and then her left one today. Yeah. So.
Does she look like that little red-eyed Morty I see?
No, it's not red at all. That's what's so weird. She looked like David Bowie the first day because like one eye was dilated, the other one wasn't. It was kind of cool.
Which David Bowie? Like from Labyrinth or?
No, like more like that kind of more like what would that be? When was he? What was that? Changes Bowie. Yeah, Changes where he's like this, and he looks like he's like a thin white dude or whatever it was. That's he's got to look at. She was not wearing jodhpurs. No, Nixie Geek. Yeah, not doing that. Should have a Wise camera pointed at her. Yeah, I should. I have a Wise camera pointed at. I gotta. Okay.
We should stream her right now.
I got like. Yeah, but though the weird thing is that I've stream Jane recovering from eye surgery. Hey, honey, it was great. We got some great numbers, especially when you went to change. Okay, I've got to go. I'm gonna say goodbye to everyone. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm gonna say it again because I'm shameless. But if anyone wants to buy a coin, it's a great thing to do.
Yes.
They are made of real coin metal, as we've learned.
What is coin metal?
That's not the point. Lord Chunky.
What is it?
The point is I have no idea what coin metal is. I have no idea what they're made out of. No, actually, that's not true. I do know because I wrote a letter that says what's in them. Let me see. Do I have the letter with me?
It's metal for coins. Duh.
It's like brass or something. It's got it's nice and heavy.
Oh.
Have you got one yet, Lord Chunky?
I have one. Yeah.
You have one. Yeah. See?
You do?
He's got one in his desk somewhere. That's how cash the kids are about these things. Vipup hasn't got one yet because I've yet to do the mailing, but I will. All right, everyone. Be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Until we get again, I will say cheerio and huzzah. And now I'm going to go make sure my wife can see me or will look at me. Maybe she just won't look at me. Maybe it's, she shall be well. All right, everyone. Thanks very much. I guess the next time you see me, I'll probably be playing Magic with Lance as he tells us tales of his misspent youth. All right.
True.
Huge thanks to Cal for once again putting up with me. Thanks for all the subs. Thank you for all of the lovely comments and all the fun in the stream avatars. Thank you, Vipup, as always.
Yeah, buddy.
For being here, and we'll talk later. All right. Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Arrivederci.